everybody. Welcome to episode 35 of By the Fire. Hope you're having a fantastic Saturday, wherever in the world you guys are viewing from. As always, we are joined today by Walter Chambers and Glitched Viking, and we have an action-packed show today. Probably one of the most content-heavy episodes of By the Fire that we've had in recent memory is going to be taking place today. So we have Matt and Mark from the Goons of Balatroon team, one of the newest projects that is onboarding onto Elysium, has partnered with Vulcan Forged. We're going to be getting a lot of awesome info about that project, everything they have going on. In addition to that, so much to cover going on in the Vulcan ecosystem. Later in the show, Fables of Fyra, land sale that took place, a couple huge giveaways. We're going to be revealing the winner of the Known Worth Vulcanverse land plot giveaway from the past week. So that'll be at the end of the show. We also have the Sheikens Raffle with a lot of great prizes up for grabs. And you'll actually be eligible to get entries into that up until we do the wheel spin for those later in the show. So Sheikens, if you're in chat and wouldn't mind putting a link into there, some great prizes up for grabs there. It's raising money for one of his Sedalians who's been heavily affected by the situation in Ukraine. And there's going to be some Troy plots of land up for grabs there, various other Vulcan Forge NFTs. And I'll find the medium in a second here to post in chat. But Walt, Glitch, happy Saturday, guys.
How are you feeling? Saturday, man.
How are you feeling this afternoon, evening?
Good. Nice and recovered.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
Coffee. We're ready for a good one.
Yeah, welcome to. We have a lot of first-time chatters, so welcome everybody. Quick shout out to everyone we see in chat: the Brewer, MZ, Jack Mac, Cardo B, Plato Vault. Plato Vault I've seen is a big player in the Goons ecosystem. What's up, man? CJ Julian 315 Guild is in here. Cardo B, Yap, what's up, Yap? Sheikens, and Sheikens just put the donation address for that raffle. By the way, Sheikens, if you could also put the medium in there as well, that kind of explains everything. That'd be great. Welcome in everybody. Awesome show today. So we're not going to waste too much time with this intro because we have Matt and Mark here waiting to come on with us. So we have a little bit of a intro that our man Armega put together for us. So we're going to roll that here, and then we're going to get right into our AMA segment with the Goons of Balatroon team.
Here we go. What do you mean? I've been at 3 packs left and I bought 52 and I've been like paused waiting.
Yes.
Oh wait, is that you, Omega? How many did you just go and buy?
I don't know, maybe 100.
So sad.
He sounds more and more depressed about it every time.
I can't help it. I have an addiction.
You're such a weak human.
Yes! Nice!
Oh shit!
Get in!
Badass,
I
man.
got
Legendary.
Your gag, the landfill king.
Dude, that.
Yeah.
Ethanol. Check this. Ethanol coma.
Winner, chicken dinner. Hey, legendary. I think this one's a good one too. I've heard a lot of good things about it.
Oh, wait, you got a
yeah.
legendary.
Let's
Dude,
go.
Get in, son.
Avatar self is 5 or less. Heal back is huge. Heal at 30 fuck.
What is that? You just bought a load of packs?
No, I did not.
We're
That's
all
not what
winners.
happened at all. Like, what are you?
Did you
No.
go 50 more one? I might have to drop another.
No, I didn't. I
I'm
didn't.
depressed and Walt's in withdrawal.
No,
4, 5, 6, 7. I've got 8 packs left.
Nice. How many did you get in total?
I have no idea.
I just kept pressing the button.
Yeah, I mean, if it's anything like when I was bridging the ETH, it's probably way too many.
Yeah, well, it's kind of the same, but just there wasn't the reveal like this. It was
Summon a 2x2
Fuck
critter.
yeah.
Summon a 2x on every friend.
Dude, you just got a legendary, an epic,
holy
and
fuck, Omega.
3 rares?
Hammer of Justice. Transform all neutral tiles to electric. Deal 7 damage to all non-electric. Dude, whoa.
Damn,
If
that
I
is...
was the kind of guy to rub stuff in, I would say, "Ooh, sorry, Senor Glitch."
Holy fuck, Omega.
Well, now I'm angry. Where?
Oh yeah. Yeah, no, Oh, there's a wooden phallus.
Just a mucked in his toys.
Throw it onto the bottom of the weapons. There's a wooden phallus.
Huh? Yes.
Goons of Balatroon.
All right, welcome back, everybody. Hope you enjoyed that little intro video Omega put together for us. We are so happy to be joined by Matt, aka Beagle, the Chief Community Officer, and Mark, the co-founder and big brain behind the Goons of Balatroon project. Matt and Mark, thank you very much for joining us, guys. I figured a good way to start here would be if you guys wouldn't mind just giving us a little introduction and talk about the roles that you're playing within the project.
Absolutely. Well, it's great to be here with you guys today. I've had a great time talking with everybody so far. We've been cutting it up with Omega in the Discord, so it's great to, meet the entire team and be able to finally hang out. Myself, my name is Matt. I go by Beagle in the Discord. That's how everybody probably knows me. I've been community manager for the Goons of Balatroon project for a while now, since Mint, and it's just been an amazing wild ride. Prior to this, I came from a much more traditional walk of life. I worked politics way back in the day, did campaign stuff, switched to some form of government work, and then just completely got immersed in, degen, crypto, NFTs, and kind of went down the rabbit hole, as I think so many of us do. And, quick speed it up. Here I am talking to all you guys, hanging out, having a great time. And it's been a wild, amazing ride. And I'll turn it over to Mark, as you say, big brain of our community, one of our co-founders. He's the idea guy and kicks out so much amazing stuff for us. So I'd like to introduce you guys to Mark right now.
Thanks for the warm-up, Matt. Pleasure to see you guys again. Second Doc's appearance. I know last time we spoke to Jamie, we managed to go like 6 months and on, and then poof, there it went. So we decided it's the right time to come out and show our faces, because the project is starting to blow up and we need to show that there's real people behind it and not just fancy little goon avatars. So I'm one of the 3 co-founders of Goons of Balatroon, come from a online casino gambling background for quite some time, and that was a really nice on-ramp into crypto because it's more degen stuff. Loved it, but got into it. And then I saw NFTs starting to blow up beginning of 2021. And I love the concept. I thought at first it was a little bit silly, but then once it really hit, you dive deep into that and then you realize how big it can get. So we started with a couple of smaller projects called Astrofreaks and Anti-Masks. And that's one of the projects where Matt, aka Beagle, met me and then joined the community. Who's one of the first people actually in the Discord when we launched Goons of Balatroon. And yeah, we've been building it since then. We decided to go down the trading card route game because Mr. Z and Alex, the other two co-founders, they like the gaming concepts. Mr. Z's been playing Hearthstone religiously for the last 10 years or so. So, well, not 10 years, 8 years. And we decided it's a really natural thing for us to do. The Goons art lends its way to being a really creative game with bulls and bears against each other. And yeah, we're building it steadily since, launched a lot of utility. And I guess I'll save the rest for the, remainder of this talk.
Beautiful. Yeah, because so what we're going to do here, guys, is we have a bunch of questions we're going to get through with Matt and Mark here throughout the show. Any viewers, if you guys have questions that pop up, things you want to ask, we will throw in some viewer questions as well, maybe have a little AMA for the guys just as we are progressing through here. But that's really cool. So I imagine, Matt's coming from a political background, that this is a bit more of a fun space to be working in, I would imagine.
Much more, yes. It's there are fun aspects of politics. You get to experience a ton of stuff. You get to go do a lot of things, meet a lot of cool people. But this is just on another level entirely. In the Web3 space, there's the freedom to do kind of whatever sparks your imagination, whatever you have the technical skills to do. And it's so cool. It's such a cool environment.
Yeah, and I love that you come from a gambling background as well, Mark. I'm a big time poker player myself. Played for years. Was it like, were you a gambler yourself, or were you kind of working for those like projects that allowed people to gamble?
No, I actually worked at PokerStars in project manager capacity and saw, the whole software development life cycle from start to finish for various projects. I was in the casino department, not poker, but that sort of gave us that initial experience dealing with games and seeing how to put all the devs together. And we felt like we can take that and create something cool here. So it's not a gambling project necessarily, but there's the gambling side with the crypto and the Web3, and then we're making a trading card game similar to Hearthstone.
Oh, yeah. And the pack gambling, just picking up more packs to hit those legendaries and shinies.
That comes from experience, yeah.
Yeah, very cool, guys. So I guess one good thing to get into here is let's just talk about the project as a whole. So Goons of Balatroon, it is a collectible card game. You guys are currently using Immutable X. So what are some of the, I guess, highlight aspects of the project that separates Goons of Balatroon from a lot of the other CCGs on blockchain? And what are some of your guys' favorite aspects of the game that kind of really make it stand out amongst the competition?
Well, right off the bat, I really want to talk about the accessibility of our game, of our platform. When you look at NFT games, kind of as a genre, they have a very high barrier of entry. Most of the time you're assembling an entire team of NFT assets, and that generally incurs a pretty hefty cost. And that can kind of gatekeep. It can kind of determine who can get into the community, at least initially. We want to have a very, very accessible opening for anybody who wants to experience. Our game at its basis is meant to be fun to play. We want you to come hang out with the Goons of Balatroon because the game is enjoyable and it's something you want to show to your friends. And so we're really highlighting the play to experience as our primary draw. And directly tying into that, we want anybody to be able to enter. So we have a free-to-play framework. Anybody can enter our game, jump in, try it out, see if it's for them, with very little incurred cost. We may talk about this a little more later, but you can play without an NFT avatar, and you can play without an NFT deck of cards. So if you want to just jump in and try out our game, try out our environment, you're absolutely welcome. And we have a lot of methods in place to scale your rewards as you interact and assimilate more into our ecosystem. So once you get your Goon PFP, you're going to start earning more rewards from the game. So we really want to have an environment where everybody can come and play, and you scale up as you choose to. And that's what I think is so good in an environment where it's very pricey to get into NFTs as a whole.
Yeah. So looking at it from a free-to-play player's perspective, so someone who has no prior investment, but they want to come in and start playing, are all those like free released cards, the neutral cards, so to speak, Are those already released? Do you already see what those are? Is it only the NFT cards that are all available?
So the cards that you're getting right now, those are your NFTs. You're ripping those packs open. You're taking them to our pack opener. You're seeing what you get via the super cool pack opening animation. Those are all going to be your NFT assets, and they are on Immutable X. The non-NFT set is what you're going to be messing with in the beta. We're putting those cards together right now, and we've got some really cool things planned for that. Some very, very fun artwork that we're putting together, and we're getting it very, very tightly tuned to give us a very good look through the beta. In some ways, we want people to come and try to break our game, but have a fun time as well, because that's how we optimize. During beta, we want to optimize and make sure that all the pieces fit where they need to. So currently, the non-NFT set is in the works, and we're doing some very cool stuff with that.
Gotcha. Okay. And then the idea is for free-to-play players to be able to play the game, earn the GOB token, and then use those play-to-earn tokens to accumulate packs to then upgrade their deck over time.
Yeah, there's numerous ways that you can on-road yourself into our ecosystem, and you can kind of do it at whatever speed you want. And again, I don't want to get too far ahead of the show because we may discuss this, but I'll, just a quick sneak peek. We have, a leasing component where, again, it's a tiered system. You could start out free to play, and maybe you want to add your deck. You want to augment your deck by picking up cards to strengthen your deck and win a little bit more. Maybe you want to, go all in and get one of our Goon NFTs and get that enhanced reward rate. Or if you're not sure you're ready for that yet, you could lease. We have NFT leasing. It hasn't been completely ironed out yet, but it's in the tunnel. We're looking at that. So, there's numerous onboarding ramps to increase your earning rate of GOB and your reward rates. And there's a lot we can do with that in a lot of ways that users from, all different, walks of life or appetites for the game can onboard themselves into our environment, because we have an environment that we think people want to be a part of. It's going to be fun, and there's going to be so many components to it.
Yeah, I feel like that's a good spot to transit. And by the way, Walt and Glitch, you guys jump in at any point in time here.
Yep, I was literally just about to jump onto that tiered leasing kind of thing with the
my
question of are there
guild all over that?
Number one, absolutely. Are there league tiers planned for varying levels of NFT cards, or similar to how in Berserk we've got the starter Mythic Legend leagues, or will it all be just MMR based?
Or just like Magic the Gathering, where it's just
So we have a
everybody
ranking system. It doesn't exclude various cards from different levels. It's more for the monetary purposes. So essentially, how it works is this: you have ranks 1 through 10, from stone all the way to lava. Once you rank up, doing various activities like on the website, collecting cards and achieving various little quests and whatnot, you can bump it up, and then you get a badge per each rank. That badge you take it into the game, and it basically corresponds to how many rewards you're going to earn. So the higher badge you have, the higher the GOB emissions you're going to get from actually winning battles. That's again, you can use all the cards from any of those ranks, so it's more of a monetary thing.
So what he was referring to more so is like, if I'm a new player that just came in, and let's pretend that I didn't just buy a bunch of crap, right? If I come in and I end up having nothing, and then somebody that has a bunch of stuff, is there going to be a place that I can play with other people in my standing where I don't have a lot of valuable NFTs? I've just got a few. I built my deck out of really kind of not powerful cards.
Yeah, I get what you mean now. So there's two segments to that. First of all, the way that the balancing works is every card has abilities. There's no sort of dead cards that are just health and attack. The way it works is you have a slight advantage when you have better cards, but you can definitely take the underdog role and beat one of those Goliaths when you have the right combinations and strategies. So that was crafted by our lead game designer, Kyle, aka Whatever Works. He comes from a 20-year Magic the Gathering background, so he knows the ins and outs of card games. And he put those abilities together, and he's pretty confident that you're going to see a lot of underdog stories here. Next, we are going to have the regular kind of XP in the game itself. So regardless of the rank that you have and how many GOB you earn, there's going to be the typical kind of gaming system where there is MMR and you go up and down as you win and lose. So you're going to be matched up to similar sort of people, different strengths.
Well, and kind of to that end, we want to view your deck as kind of like an armory or a toolbox where you don't feel like you have any cards that are bad. You may have cards that aren't suitable for that one instance that you're in. For example, if I want to build a house and I need to hammer a nail in, I'm not going to grab the screwdriver. Whereas if I need to put in a screw, I'm going to grab a screwdriver or a drill. So, each one of your cards has powerful abilities and powerful effects, and it's up to you to select the tools or the weapons from your armory and apply them properly. So, as Mark mentions, proper strategy will take you further than potentially having a deck full of complete legendaries. Yeah. Although the legendaries are powerful in their own right. So there's many tiers, many paths to success in Balatroon, and that's the goal. That's the aim. We want, like Mark says, we want the underdog to be able to come out on top through skilled gameplay.
Awesome.
I can't wait for this game to come out. Like I'm excited. Almost to make the
You're
excitement.
excited because if there's an underdog story, you're always the underdog.
Yeah, it's good. But no, I really getting MTG like old vibes because I grew up as a kid playing that stuff and really got big into that. And just the idea that one person that is underdog that's just coming in could actually manage, if they did it right, they could pull it off somebody who has tons of legendaries, they could potentially beat them. That's just a really, really cool thing to think about. I've got to the point where I'm almost willing to create these cards and make a fake deck just to play the game. I think like one person was on the AMA. I think somebody said something about they played many hours with their girlfriend or something, or wife.
Kyle's
been doing that. Kyle? Okay. Yeah.
Gotcha. Well, one thing I would like to touch on a little bit further here, because in one aspect, like I think the leasing idea and being able to rent out your NFTs to other players is just a huge concept for like the growth of play to earn games. So, and there may be a lot that you guys still have to iron out with exactly how this is going to work, but what's kind of your general idea in the sense of, let's say there's someone who, I know Plato in the chat has quite a few goons under his belt. So let's say he wanted to have sort of like a team of, so in the Vulcan ecosystem, we refer to them as Sedalians. I know actually they use scholars, just basically players who can rent NFTs from you. And then there's sort of a token split idea. So you rent out your NFTs to people to use, they'll play with them. Then there's a token share involved in some capacity. So what would that look like from the perspective of, if would it have to be a goon NFT itself you're leasing to be able to get in on that play to earn share, or is it just if you have like some extra cards that you put up on a marketplace, people can just go and rent them for a fee, or what's kind of like the direction you guys are looking to take that part of things?
Yeah, so we're going to do familiar things here. It's not going to be anything that you guys haven't seen, but we're going to look at the different projects. Like one particular that I have in mind is Pegaxy. They do really well. So there will be definitely a token split. You set up a contract, the kind of ratio that you're going to want to split to the scholar, like you said, and then there's going to be an upfront GOB fee. Probably going to do it in Ether too, but GOB is going to give you a discount. And then we also have sort of where you can set up teams. So if you have multiple number of goons, say 20, 30, you can sort of rent them out in one bunch. That's a little bit more complicated. We're looking into it, like if it's technologically feasible. We know it is, but it might take some time. So traditionally, we're just going to go for the ratio token split and set up that initial contract for a particular period of time. But there are some caveats to what we're going to do that's pretty cool. I can't touch upon that yet because it actually goes into something more than just a card game. We might get into that later.
Yeah, and kind of to that end, there are, as Mark says, there's other ideas we've kicked around. We've heard the community voice their interest in deck rentals. Card rentals is something else out there. Like it's still very early form. We're still putting together the framework for the goon rentals themselves. So, but all of those things are on our radar. We know the community is interested in it. We know that there is the potential for it to work. And again, this allows us, new users to onboard how they want, because some people will come in at the free to play, but other people want to play more optimally. And they know that if they have that goon avatar, they'll be able to get their reward rates much quicker, much faster. And so leasing will be a more viable option for them. So, there's many paths to success in the Goons of Balatroon ecosystem. That's our goal always.
Awesome. Okay.
Nice.
Yeah, and now let's get into. I know you guys have been teasing recently some information about the pending token sale that has been coming up. So we'll jump into a little bit of information about that. So the token of the ecosystem is the GOB token, is the play to earn token. What are some of the use cases for that token going to be, and how are things looking for the allocations that are going to be available within the private and seed rounds compared to all the tokens that are in the circulating supply or total supply?
Well, let's start with use cases. What we see happen in play to earn gaming, P2E gaming, or crypto gaming, NFT gaming quite often is you have a 2 token split. Axie has AXS and SLP. PegXC has PGX and VIS. And generally one of them is a governance token and another one is a utility token. It does what you need it to in the ecosystem. And we are choosing a slightly different route. We're looking for a 1 token circular economy, and that will be GOB, the GOB token. It's coming very soon. And it is envisioned to be the mainstay of our circular economy, as I mentioned. And it's going to have just an entire slew of utility. Many tokens you see, they do one thing. Generally, that is acquiring more NFTs. For example, it's breeding maybe, and it gives you another one of that NFT that you go back and you game with. So you kind of start off slow, and as you earn the token, you breed and you pick up speed, you rent out, you lease out. For us, we're going to use that token for just a slew of different things, whether it be in-game aesthetics like customization. We want you to be able to customize, we're thinking of things further out like field displays. Maybe it's card backs, card sleeves. There could be other traits that you use with your Goonbot. There's it could be in-game sound effects. There's any number of things we can do on the aesthetic side, because as a gamer myself, I spent so much time in games like Smite where I have so many skin packs. I don't feel right if I don't have 20 different skins to apply to something. From the more practical standpoints, you're going to use the GOB token for crafting, a way to utilize maybe duplicate cards or cards you have too many of them to get powerful new cards. So we're going to have a crafting system. We used to compare it to breeding because people were very familiar with Axie, but now that we're as established as we are, we're very comfortable calling it a crafting system.
Totally it makes a lot of sense.
Mm-hmm. And so Mark, I'll toss it over to you right now because you have a couple other utilities that I think you want to talk about.
Yeah, land's a big one. We're going in that metaverse direction this year, as people can see with what Bored Apes are doing. Land is big, right? You guys at Vulcan Forged definitely know something about land. So
yeah, I've heard about land
a little bit, yeah. So it's a natural direction for us because we have this brand, we have this world. We want to have people immersed in it, right? We want to have people meet each other, talk about different strategies for the card game, talk about different games potentially. We'll see in the future, and have this opportunity to really feel what the GOB token is, right? Because a lot of tokens come out, they don't have a lot of utility behind them, and it's kind of hard to convey that. So it's a lot easier when it's done visually, right? You have like one building that's particular for crafting, another building for leasing, and that's sort of the goal going to the future. So once we go to land, it's going to be a big form of the utility for the GOB token. It's going to be purchasable with the GOB, and that's going to open up a lot of doors. I mean, I was discussing with Kyle for last week, actually, what more we can do on top of just a trading card game, because that's being built right now. And it's sort of an autopilot. Our devs are just crunching away day in, day out and pushing it to completion. So it gives me a little bit of time right now to sit back and think, what more can we do? There's a lot of really cool things we're coming up with. Can't wait to share those. But in terms of the allocation, we decided to do something interesting because a lot of the time, seed and private rounds are reserved for institutional investors and those with qualified backgrounds. We thought, why not open a little bit of the private round to the community? Because you guys have been here from the start. Why not give you the chance to, put some money towards what you believe in and get an opportunity to come in early? So it does come with a lot of caveats, of course, that you have to be qualified in a particular jurisdiction. So we have that whole process rolled out. You can submit the form, and then I'll reach out to you, or one of our co-founders will reach out to you, and then we'll have a little bit of discussion, see what kind of background you have. You're gonna have to pass KYC, but we have an 80-20 ratio split of tokens. So there's 8 million GOB tokens available for the private round. And if you want to participate with a $3,000 minimum ticket, then shoot over that Google form, pass KYC, and we'll have a little chat, see if we can take it to the next level. So we actually don't know if there's other projects that have been opening up private sales. So it's a little bit of a tricky one because, as you guys know, there's certain restricted countries like the States. That was a big question, why states citizens can't participate and whatnot. So there's a lot of legal mumbo jumbo. Our legal counsel advised us we have to follow the strict protocols. Some projects do, some projects don't. We want to cover asks, right? We don't want to face lawsuits in the future, and we want to abide by all the regulations of these countries. So again, if you're in an unregulated country, shoot over that Google form, we'll take it there.
And that's kind of the mainstay of what we're trying to do here. We are trying to do everything as properly as we can. We're utilizing legal counsel, and I'm in the U.S. myself, so it is unfortunate to hear about these things. And we've had some community feedback about that, and the best I can say, unfortunately, is if you're here in the U.S., talk to your representatives, talk to your legislators. That's how these things changes. On our side of it, we're trying to do things as properly as we can. There's many boxes that we have to tick, and we're trying to do this because we want to be around. Mark certainly has the mindset of the world is never enough. So like he says, our devs are crunching away, putting, pedal to the metal as far as the current trading card game. And he's out here brainstorming about the next big thing, because the more utility we can bring to our community, the more awesome stuff that it's better. We're not here for a one-shot wonder. We've kind of navigated away from talking about our roadmap because even our roadmap's not enough. We don't want to just execute line by line by line on a roadmap and then call it quits and be done. There's so much out there, so much potential that we can do in Web3, and why stop? And doing things properly is just an important piece of that puzzle, so we can be here for the long term.
That's why I love Vulcan Forged. You guys are pumping out utility after utility after utility. Every tweet is just, in one tweet, you guys can present enough utility for like 5 other projects out there. So it's amazing to watch, and definitely you guys are being role models for the future, and we want to, give a little bit back ourselves and put as much utility into the GOP token as possible. Because the more you pump out, the more excitement there is, and you have that natural growth that we're looking
absolutely for. The community just grows into it, and the community, the feedback, and the amount of utility that comes from community feedback is incredible as well. So yeah, it's definitely the right way to go. Definitely 100%.
Yeah, I think it's a better safe than sorry situation, of course, with the whole having to exclude the U.S. and some other countries. I mean, I know it's a main a thing with a lot of projects. I mean, there's just the laws and regulations are just so for whatever reason,
3.
Yeah, it's
and it's lacking in clarity for a lot of things. I think in the next couple of years we're going to see a lot of clarity come in. Here in the U.S., I can only speak for myself. We're seeing a lot of executive orders. We're seeing a lot of legislation come in. So I think crypto is starting to get that mainstream adoption. NFTs will be a little bit slower behind it, but we're starting to see the change, and I hope it's a positive change for at least U.S. and U.S. Citizens. It's so hard to say though. Like you say, it's so much uncertainty right now.
Yeah.
Yep.
It is really cool to hear though that you guys have aspirations for getting involved with land and sort of like a whole Balatroon metaverse, because when we first found the project, when it was first announced you guys were going to be partnering with Vulcan Forged, we looked into the CCG, saw the NFTs, were like, holy shit, this looks amazing. If there wasn't already enough reasons to be bullish, knowing that you're getting into the metaverse space, potentially other games down the road, having an actual virtual world of Balatroon, that is amazing stuff to hear. Seriously.
Then buying 100 packs and 3 minutes later, it just kind of, it was a wow factor when we first started seeing the project.
Well, we have a lot of potential. We have a lot of room to grow because we started off with a lore, a backstory. I remember very early on, as Mark mentioned, I was one of the first people there in the Discord as we were putting it all together. Back then we had more bots in the server than people because we were getting all the framework of the server put together. I remember reading through the story. I remember reading through, the ideas, and some things have changed along the way. We've grown, we've expanded our vision, and that's the goal, is to continuously expand and see what can be done. But we have a lore, we have a backstory, we have an entire ecosystem and world that we can grow, fill out. Trading card game is just the beginning. There's so much that we can do. There's so much out there.
Yeah, it is going to be really exciting to see how this develops. And of course, Vulcan Forge is the right project to be partnered with to get into the metaverse space and land space and all that stuff. Like the team we have there definitely knows what they're doing. And this partnership is one of the more exciting ones, I would say, from my perspective personally, just being a huge CCG fan and everything else going on, super, super bullish. And one thing I do want to ask you guys about, so a huge thing with just video games in general is pro leagues, tournaments, prize pools, things of this nature. So that's one thing I am very curious about, what you guys have in store for the Goons of Balatroon. I know in the white paper it mentions something about tournaments. I believe there's, I can't remember if it was tournaments or seasons. I should have it pulled up here with me. But what is your plan in terms of sort of setting the tone for a professional league or seasons, etc.? How are the top players going to be rewarded, and what is the roadmap or blueprint for what you guys are going to be setting up there for the top tier players?
Well, let me give you some hypotheticals first, and we'll toss it over to Mark to give a couple of the particulars. So already we are talking with a couple. We're trying to talk to as many guilds as we can. Guilds just have such great influence and effect on the crypto NFT gaming space. They allow people to get into NFT gaming who otherwise might not have the opportunity to experience it. And, there's been a couple that we've been involved with for tournaments, and these are, primarily Gods Unchained tournaments and games to that extent. And we've contributed prize pools and we sponsored them. And these guilds are also very interested in having tournaments with us as well, with our game. They're looking into it and saying, man, this game looks like a ton of fun. We'd like to execute on this. So the blueprint is absolutely out there for, tournament play, interactions with guilds. There is a little bit of a framework for when we're going to see those tournaments, and I think Mark would probably be the best person to discuss that for us.
Yeah, I mean, we like to take it one step at a time because this game is really challenging to build. We changed some concepts, added these elements and tile systems to, the traditional card game that you see like Hearthstone. And believe it or not, but those little changes make a huge difference, right? It's like a 70% familiar, 30% unique game. That 30% is what really takes the time to build. And we're laying that foundation out right now and trying to get the beta out as soon as possible. So what I can say from when the beta comes out is the traditional casual matches, ranked matches where you can actually level up and earn gob for battles, and private matches, to host some community events and activities. And those private matches are where we're going to start to build off into tournaments. So, traditional leg tournaments where you have like 64 entrants and then maybe the top 3 take some prizes. So there's lots of flexibility to what we can build here. And it's definitely not really hard to put together a concept. Once we're working with lots of guilds, we have experience to what other games have done. Like Matt said, watched the Crypto Cujo tournament for Gods Unchained roll out. And for us, the most important thing is the foundation. So again, those things are pretty easy to put together. The foundation is the hard part. We want to see that the game works. We want to see that once we have expansion sets for the cards, they can be slotted in easily. And I mean, to be honest with you, it's actually quite a mystery to how the balancing is going to turn out. We did our best. Kyle put together the absolute coolest experiments possible. I mean, he printed out all 300 cards and sat there with his girlfriend playing day in, day out. So he said it works. We'll see how it is. And we'll tweak things as we go. But tournaments definitely on the radar, but the foundation is the most important.
Hey, Mark, real quick question. Do you have any kind of video of the latest, I'm really curious. Mukti and I specifically are really curious about seeing, like, the tiles and how they're going to, factor in on the game. We saw the last video, I think, which doesn't really show that, I believe.
Yeah.
Do y'all have anything?
That's coming this week. I believe by end of week, we're going to have 3 videos.
Sorry, not to put any pressure on Dev or anything. Just
no, it's in the works. It's in the works.
No pressure, but he wants to see it now.
Yeah, so if you could just pull that up right now, that would be great. No pressure.
Yeah, BRB, 20 minutes. Yeah. But no, we're going to have some videos come out soon for sure to show what we've been up to. Because again, the hard part here is that we're building out the foundation. That's the part that takes the most time. So I'd say like 80% of the development is the foundation, and 20% is all the trinkets that you put on top, little, fancy animations and how the actual game looks visually. So that part is, believe it or not, the easiest. The hardest is making sure that server connection to the client, it makes sense. The balancing is set in a way where it's in a proprietary scripted language so that, myself or any of the co-founders can come in and actually tweak some of it ourselves without any programming experience. Those things are the hard part. And unfortunately, those are actually the things that we can't show visually. So we're going to show what we can this week. But once we get the foundation out, we're going to have so many videos come out. It's going to be a hailstorm.
Awesome.
Yeah. The whole idea with the tiles is just such a cool, unique thing. Like I'm very excited to see how that gameplay kind of works, and also the balancing. I mean, I can't imagine that being an easy task at all.
No,
Yeah,
it
he's
is not.
constantly. He said he's constantly like. They actually. They were talking about on the last AMA, how they have. They want to reward people for trying to break the game. You know, so I love that idea and that factor behind it, because they always want to adjust to make the game balanced. They don't want to have two cards be able to run the board. You know, constantly.
Right.
So, yeah, I love that idea.
Well,
Yeah.
Kyle is experienced with Magic the Gathering. He knows. I mean, you can ask him a card. He's going to recite to you like the edition, the words, and everything about it. He's going to tell you, anything you want to know about pretty much any card game. So we're in the right hands here, but we need to see how it rolls out. We need to actually play it, not paper, because this kind of game is really hard to do in a non-automated fashion. So the computer really helps to put things together, because I think Kyle told me that one round took him like 5 hours to play, even though the game is slated to be a 5 to 10 minute game. So keeping track of all those metrics and everything, it's complicated. But what that actually does in our favor is prevent people from running algorithms and figuring out how to beat the game. Because it's actually really hard to beat the game. We don't even know the answers. So it's going to be really interesting to see what happens.
Yeah, because each card has so much interplay, so many abilities. You can use your elemental archetypes. There's just so much to it. And really the focus is a balanced, fun experience for everybody. And, even these large AAA game companies, the biggest companies out there who produce games, they will struggle with balance. And this is just something that is just a fact of life if you're developing a game up and down the board. And it's something that we are putting a lot of focus and a lot of importance on, is making sure that when the game rolls out, it's enjoyable. It's enjoyable, and you don't feel like you don't feel like there's an oppressive set out there. I would like it if there's no meta. I would like it if there's no meta. It's hard to say if that will happen, but having a universal set of cards that's playable by anybody, and it just comes down to strategy, that's the goal.
Fun to play first.
Fun to play first.
One thing I'm curious about, because it is true with any game, like there's going to be some strategies or cards or whatever that are just like stronger than others, and it's kind of like metas establish over time. People just run certain things and end up winning more and doing better than others. That just kind of like plays out over time. But let's say, because a big difference here with these being NFTs, if there ends up being some cards or some combo of cards that are just super strong, like are seeing a significantly higher win rate than average, is there a way to actually tweak those cards after they're minted as NFTs? Or is that something like, what would your guys' plan be there? Would that just sort of be to introduce new cards for the other elements to kind of even out a balance of some kind?
Yeah, that's a good question. It's been on our minds from the very beginning, of course. And we have a 60-day grace period once the beta is out. So we basically reserve the right to change some things. We're not going to do major changes, but it is possible to do. The metadata is tweakable. Unlike Goons, which are static images that are never going to change, hosted on IPFS, and they're going to be like that forever. The cards are on IMX with a traditional Web 2 server. And the reason for that is because things do need to get tweaked. They're not going to get tweaked in terms of the art or whether they're legendary or rare, but some things might change a little. Maybe the attack might go from 7 to 5, right? That's possible. We're going to do our best to prevent that, but there's no guarantees, because once the game is actually out and we're playing it and seeing the data that comes from hundreds of players actually interacting with it, things might change a little bit. But we're reserving a 60-day grace period with hopes that we're never going to change it after that.
Yeah, and change is a scary thing to say in Web3, but everything that we're doing here has to be a careful fusion of Web 2 and Web 3, because anybody here who is a gamer knows that as much as you hate to see adjustments happen, it is just unfun and it's a game killer if there's just completely oppressive aspects of the game. Like, let's say you're in a first-person shooter and there's just guns that are absolutely broken. There's shotgun combinations that just will map people, or in cards like trading card games like Yu-Gi-Oh, they come out with the ratas all the time, cards that have to be adjusted. Axie Infinity, the Terminator Reptile classification was just immensely oppressive where everybody was running it. So, again, change is kind of scary to stay in Web3, but because we're doing a game and it has to be a fun game to experience, it has to be balanced. There has to be kind of that careful fusion to allow us to build a fun and playable game.
Yeah, absolutely. So is this going to be, will this be like a downloadable application that you guys have put together when the game is all said and done, or is this going to be a game you can access through the web browser, or will it be a downloadable client to play?
Yeah, so we started with Unity Web because it's easier for us to test and distribute it to various players. But we're definitely moving towards standalone desktop applications and mobile. So the distinction between what we're doing in some other blockchain games is we're making sure the mobile apps have nothing to do with crypto on them, because it's going to be really hard to get through the app store. If you throw in blockchain, Web3, crypto, they start to get a little bit nervous about those things. So it's a Web2 game with a Web3 layer on top, and you're going to have queues where you can visit the website to see various things about how much you're earning, or how basically it's going to be like numbers, but you don't really know what they represent. And yeah, we're pushing for standalone, but at the moment we're going to release the beta as Unity Web, so anyone with a web browser and internet connection can connect to the game, play it, and it's easier to integrate MetaMask and the wallets to make that happen, which is really difficult to do on standalone applications.
And something we're taking a look at, we do want to take signals from those who have done it properly. Like, for example, on the app side of it, I view Thetan Arena as doing things well themselves. They were one of the first crypto games that I saw make its way over to the app side. I was surprised to find out that was an app that I could play, not even on, I'm on iOS, so I didn't even have to play it on their test flight mode. It was just an app for download. So, it's all about taking, you don't want to reinvent the wheel when something works. So we're looking at successful stuff like that. But as Mark says, we execute first on the web-based client, then we can move to standalone, and then app from there. It's all a building process.
Gotcha. Okay, so we have a couple chat questions I want to get to here. Seabags wants to know, does anyone know what kind of sun lotion Mark uses?
Oh shit. Should have probably not been on the beach for like 3 days in a row yet. I don't know, seriously. Just the lighting, probably. Yeah. I'm jumping from one place to another because Canada doesn't like crypto, so I had to pretty much get the hell out of my own country. So I'm in Portugal right now, trying to adjust to the sun that I don't usually see in Toronto.
Great to hear from Seabag. He's a great member of the community. He's always weighing in on Discord there. So shout out to you, Seabag. Thanks for weighing in, buddy.
Portugal does seem like a very nice place to be, that's for sure. Crypto Fanito asked, does Goons have a merch store? And if not, will they consider a merger with VF Merch to create/distribute badass Goons gear?
Whoa.
Oh, we want merch so badly. You have no idea. Like, I want those shirts. I want to have something out there.
Looks like that's a discussion.
It's tough. We don't have the personnel right now to make it happen. But some of the guys that are working on the art and design for the game itself are probably going to help us with that. So if we are not going to do it in-house, we're going to look out to outsource it. Gisa, actually, and our marketing team has put together a merch plan. So we're ready to green light that as soon as our personnel is available. But yeah, we want that. We want that badly.
You should talk to Mucky there, Mark, because it's he's got a big thing going. He's got the stuff already set up and ready to go.
Oh yeah?
Yeah.
Hey, we'll talk. We'll talk. I mean, I'm looking at your guys' shirts right now. Like, I like God merch. I was checking out your guys' merch right now. I'm like, that's awesome. Love the Vulcan themes. It's amazing. When merch is a question we get quite often in the community. So it is 100% on the radar, and something I'd rather be rocking, God merch everywhere I go as well. So
oh yeah,
definitely on the radar.
Yeah, if you guys don't have a plan for production, like who's going to be producing, etc., we'll talk then. We'll talk then, and would love to help you guys get something arranged there. Whatever time frame you guys. Another question here that I'm curious about. So, what role will the Goon PFPs play within the game? So, in Vulcanverse, the CCG Berserk, the Vulcanite NFTs actually have hero powers on the board. So, different tier of NFTs have abilities in game. Is there anything like that coming for the PFPs? And also, will there be any difference in terms of the rarity of the PFP within gameplay or earning potential from like the rare skins or traits or anything like that?
Yeah.
Well, so a little bit of interesting foreshadowing there. Go ahead, Mark. Go ahead.
There's going to be hero abilities, no doubt, based on the rarities and the traits. And actually, Kyle's already whatever works for people that don't know him. He's put together already a spreadsheet of 1 million numbers and how they all interconnect, which blew my mind. But we're ready for it. We're going to integrate as soon as the actual cards are balanced, and then that all makes sense. So probably 2 months after beta, that's when we're going to start to implement this. But there's no doubt we're going that direction. I mean, it doesn't make sense for us to have so many cool traits and so many diverse goons and not use them in the game.
Yes, and just the basis. Your goon from day one is going to be your avatar. It is I don't know if we've talked about the reward rate so far, but because it involves the PFP avatar, I'll touch on it just real quick. A free-to-play player starts out, they earn at a 1x rate. As you progress through our ecosystem, you get your goon PFP avatar, and that cranks you up to a 10x reward multiplier. So just from its very basic inception, owning a goon will give you that bonus. And again, you can take advantage of this through leasing, and any number of ways in. And then, as Mark says, once you get into the game itself, there will be, mechanics where, traits can matter. And like I say, this is still the early days, but it is something that's been kicked around and very exciting because we've got feedback on the community from it. This is something that people are interested in, and these are things people want to talk about.
Yeah, we're balancing the cards right now, making sure that works, because once you add all the combinations of all the cards, we get into like million possibilities, and then you put in the hero abilities that starts to get into the billions. So it's a really frightening number. That's why we're taking it again one step at a time, but it's on our radar for sure. We've been thinking about it from the get-go.
Awesome. Yeah, Crypto Guy appears to be pretty excited that rarity is going to have an effect on the abilities in game. And Keefe Crypto has a question. Will Goon bods have utility in the game at all?
Okay.
So,
yeah, Matt, you can start that one.
Well, I'm going to start off with very general. So this is how I'm going to do. I'm going to start general and kick it over to Mark. Our entire philosophy with every aspect of the game, of the ecosystem, of our environment, is we want everything to matter. When we put something into the game, it takes team hours, it takes coding hours, it takes art hours. Everything that we put into the game has an immense amount of time investment behind it. And so we want everything to be a powerful component, a useful component, and we don't want any aspect of our environment to just sit collecting dust on a shelf. We want you to be excited about your bots, about your cards, about your avatars. We have the badges. We haven't touched on the badges a lot. Mark brushed on it, but we want every single NFT asset that you have in the game. We want it to be something that you use, that brings you use cases and usefulness, and we want it to be something you're excited about. So I'll kick it over to Mark to talk a little bit more about the specifics, but basically we don't want anything to be neglected in our environment.
Yeah, so bots are going to play an aesthetic role in the card game itself. When you win a battle or various things are going to happen in tournaments, you're going to see them pop up like Easter eggs, like Mortal Kombat finishing moves. It's going to be really cool. But in terms of gameplay mechanics, they're not going to feature for the most part in the card game because, like I said, those billions of combinations are going to get into the trillions, and we're definitely never going to get the game out if we start to put too many things into it. But bots are going to play a role in other games that we're going to put out. That's all I can say for now.
Yeah, once you start looking at metaversal implications of everything that we're building, just because it may not have a top shelf role in one aspect of our ecosystem, it doesn't mean that the bots can't be a star player a little bit further down the road. For example, if you're hanging out with friends in the metaverse, or maybe you're, very hypothetically out in the future, maybe you're sitting down at a goon's poker table in the metaverse and you've got your goon bod you're wearing. We don't know if you're going to have to leave your sword at the door or your weapon at the door, but there's just so much that the goon bots can have in that metaversal role. So a ton of potential out there, and I think you could make a drinking game over the number of times I've said very excited, but we're very excited about all of it.
Drink again. Hey, all I heard there, just for the record, was Mortal Kombat goons. That's all I heard.
Finish him.
Yeah, I guess we have to make a fighting game now. Game devs are gonna love that.
We'll save that.
Buckle up, Mark.
Yeah. Plato Vault asks, how will goon leasing work? Will owners be able to set their own gob earnings splits, or will earnings split be standardized?
Yeah, you're gonna be able to set that based on the contracts, like I said before. And hey, Plato, nice to see you. Join us here today. The actual mechanics for how leasing is gonna work is going to be published in a document probably in the next 2-3 weeks. So just wait for that, because I'm going to be jumping back and forth from white paper to white paper to make sure that I have the best concept going forward. But yeah, you're going to be able to have flexibility, of course, set the ratio of token split between the owner and the leasee, and the price for the contract and duration.
And because we have a very fortunate side of our community where we have some first-time minters in our community. I think it's always awesome to hear in Discord when somebody's minted our project is their very first NFT set. So because we have that, I'll brush a little bit on how leasing can work in other games. For example, Axie Infinity has much less in-game structured format where you can basically lease them out. And the scholars play and there's a predetermined split, and then once you get into a game like PGX, PegXC, which has added kind of a more integrated format where you can use, there's multiple, you have split earnings of their VIS token, or you could have one-time cost of their PGX token, or you can even do kind of more peer-to-peer sort of lending on that, where you set the percentage of earnings. So there's kind of the NFT leasing has evolved since its inception, and so we're looking at all aspects of that. Like you say, Mark's absolutely dedicated to kind of building the best framework that he can.
Awesome. And we'll get through a few more of these community questions we have coming in. LSD Rapper Goon asks, when will marketing ramp up to help maintain hype between key announcements?
Token. That's when we're going to do most of our stuff. So the rollout for the token is going to be our biggest push, because here we not only have gamers and NFT investors, but we have all the crypto investors. And that's arguably a bigger market. So you're going to see GOB hashtag circulate a lot more than trading card game or any of the assets like the Goons. And roll out, let's say, 2 weeks prior to the GOB token being launched, which is going to be sometime in April. At the moment, we're looking at third week April. But you're going to see marketing definitely ramp up for that. And it's going to be more towards the crypto investors rather than the NFT market. MT market right now is maturing. It is still all over the place, but the traditional marketing approaches for crypto investors and what we've seen since 2017 is a lot easier to deal with. So that's going to be our play here.
Yeah, pretty much anytime I jump into other Discords, because I'm a DJ myself, so I'm in a million different Discord servers. It's pretty typical across the board. The when marketing meme, and it is very difficult because right now we've been in a very, I'll call it a repressed or suppressed market, both for crypto and NFTs. I'll call it a mini bear kind of. Crypto moves in cycles. We're all aware of that here, and so it kind of adds that extra dynamic in. To advertising, we have to hit the right catalyst. We have to hit the right amount of energy in the market. So we try to do our marketing surges when we have something exciting to put out, and then time the market. And, we just kind of feel our way through, because everything in the NFT space is very heavily dependent on how Ethereum feels when it wakes up in the morning.
Yeah, the token doing well is its own organic marketing. And I mean, seeing a chart go 10, 20x versus, preaching what we're building in the future and all that utility, it's a lot easier to communicate visually. So we believe that through the token is where we're going to get the biggest wave of people.
Okay. And I think Glitched Viking might have enjoyed that last little segment, because I see Bored Viking has.
Yeah. I also looked at its history, and I see that it came from the Seabags guy that was in chat.
So Glitch
that was purchased 18 minutes ago. He's doing that in the middle of the show.
Yeah. So Glitch just purchased a new goon. That's
yeah, but
all my other goon was feeling lonely.
I like the zombie eye is a sick trait.
Yeah.
Oh, yes.
My favorite trait I have to say is the peacock one, and it's absolutely one that I actually don't own, and it makes me I die a little bit inside every time I see a peacock, because I remember on midday I was debating, I was looking at one, and I was tight on liquidity. I know that's a meme. Everyone's like, "Oh man, I'm low on liquidity. I don't have liquidity right now." The liquidity memes are everywhere, but I was just gritting my teeth looking at that, looking at those peacocks. I'm like, son of a gun.
Yeah, the peacock skin is a beautiful one. So we'll go to Flaccid Dragon asks, are you moving 100% from Immutable X to Elysium?
Yeah, so the token is going to be bridged to Elysium. We're launching the token on mainnet to allow us to capture the biggest audience of crypto investors. So we're going to be on various dexes and exchanges on mainnet. But obviously, we don't like gas fees in our project. We've dealt with them in October, November, brutally when VODs launched in October. people had to pay a lot of money to mint the bots, and it was devastating to watch. So we moved to IMX for the cards and anything related to the card game. But going forward, the token is going to be bridged to Elysium, and anything related to it, like staking and other mechanisms, are including leasing, are going to be on Elysium. We're planning to put land and all those other things, of course, on Elysium as well. But it's important to note that our layer 2 network of choice is going to be Elysium for the token.
Nice. Yeah, and it was very cool kind of seeing the interaction with, with Vulcan, and it really caused us to take a step back, reassess, and it allowed us to make some different plans, make some adjustments, and it's been a great opportunity. We're very excited about it. So it has a host of advantages and a host of open doors that it's benefited us with.
Okay. And guys, we've been going on for over an hour here with this segment. So I have one more question that I know I'm sure a decent amount of people are curious about before we wrap up here. So you guys recently had the sale of the Ukraine Goons. I forget the exact title of the Goons for Ukraine. And you
UA Goons
announced in your Discord some utility coming for these, something about a multiplier. So if you guys could elaborate a little bit, maybe what you know up to this point on how that's going to work and what kind of utility those goons will be carrying in the future.
Yes, absolutely.
Mr. Multiplier, go ahead.
Yes. So we have the Gob Stands with Ukraine collection, and this was something that we're not seeking to be a political activist group. We're just a game development company. We're trying to have a ton of fun, make a fun game to play. But we were deeply affected by the crisis. We have several team members who have been directly influenced and directly affected and impacted by the Ukrainian crisis. And so we sought to do something, to benefit those in direct need right now. Like I say, it touched our hearts very deeply. We had some members of our team who had to relocate. Some had ongoing impacts to their everyday life and still continue to be. So we put this collection together, and it was initially envisioned to have, just be purely collectible, purely for donation. The team, we take no funds from it. 100% of the funds raised from it will be donated to charity. We've cranked up the secondary market royalties a little bit because all of the secondary market will be donated to charity as well. So this is, purely charity based. And initially the inception of it was to have, no utility. And this is kind of how it played out. We had, it was a 100 goon set, and we put them on auction initially for 0.05 Ethereum, and we figured, let's say this entire set sells, we'll probably get 5 ETH out of it. That's kind of the benchmark. It was a larger set, and the response was just overwhelming and outpouring. We sold a fraction of the set initially in that 24-hour auction, and made almost the full amount that we anticipated to fundraise, and it was just amazing. And so we said, okay. This was a period in the market where Ethereum was not at a high rate. People were not particularly liquid, and the 24-hour action is kind of limited. So we decided we're going to reprice the collection. We're going to roll it out with no deadline. We'll just put the goons up for sale for the same price as the initial auction price, and we'll just continue raising those funds because the art is amazing. The art for the UA Goon collection is just beautiful. I love the bandana train. I was able to pull up one of those, so I was very happy with that. And we said to ourselves, let's reward our community for being so generous, even in difficult times. Crypto markets weren't great, and so we put them back up for sale with the minimal amount of utility. And the utility is going to be, we're lining it up with our partnership collection, and that means our partners will get a 4x reward rate, 4 to 6. It's still in the works. It's a sliding scale, and we'll discuss that more as we continue to roll it out. But right now, we're giving the UA Goons partnership multiplier. We figured, if we can give other projects a multiplier, we can certainly reward our generous donors by giving them some small bit of utility back. And now this is going to take a little bit of time to roll out. People have been asking, we're going to see them in the deck creator. And these are all things that have to be programmed into the game. So it'll be a little bit further out. Right now, the main collection is the focus. The main game is the focus. But we do seek to get that stuff implemented a little bit further down the line. But we do have to triage. We do have to get everything kind of properly in line.
I'm just going to say, if you guys can pick 3 individual random people from the chat, I just picked up 3 packs now to hand out to anyone that's been active in the chat here today. So
sweet.
pick and choose some random people. I've just got them up here now, so
our
whoever
mega.
you choose.
Pick our mega.
Pick our mega.
Don't pick our mega. Don't
I didn't know
pick
we were
our
gonna do
mega.
this. I would have started commenting.
Yeah,
Don't
Matt,
worry, I've tricked them out so there's no legendaries. I would be gutted if it was like a.
Yeah, just don't tell us what you get in your packs, please.
did you guys have any favorite questions, Matt and Mark, from the community? And then we'll just see who ended up asking those that you remember.
Everybody real active in chat now.
Yeah, I know, right? Look
The
at that
chat's
chat
going
blowing
crazy.
up.
Look at me, I'm active.
I'm here. I didn't leave.
I don't know. I don't have Twitch open in front of me, but the sun lotion question really touched upon me because
Well, that was out of left field right there. I think that gets originality points right
yeah,
there.
I think he deserves a pack just for that.
Oh, Seabags, right?
Was that
yeah.
Seabags? Yeah, well, Seabags, just DM Mukti on here on Twitch
Hey, go ahead
with
and
your
add one more pack.
with
to
your
it.
ETH address. What are you saying?
Add one more pack to that. So
Add
pick
one
out
more
four,
pack to it.
four names.
God damn! All right, 4 packs up for
Training
grabs now.
packs day.
All right, so 1 pack is going to Seabag. Just DM Mukti with your ETH address. I'll get that sent across. Right. Walter, you've been awfully quiet. You go pick one as well.
I'm scrolling through now.
Scroll harder.
I still like my they found out he was from Toronto, and then Roman was excited about that, and then I made a 6 god joke. I'm like, Mark's the 6 gob. I'm like, I'm clever for that. I'm choosing myself.
No.
Seabags said Canada rules. I was gonna choose that one, but it's the same guy.
A little biased.
So Seabags clearing house today. Just
Yeah, so the Seabags.
carefully curated
Seabags is
comments.
pandering. He's pandering to the.
Let's go with this crypto guy. Literally,
Crypto guy. Well, that describes the
All
whole
right,
channel.
so
His name is Crypto Guy.
Crypto Guy
Is that a
102.
crypto
Yeah.
guy, Matt? Is that the mod?
Yep, he's one of
Guy
our mods
102?
actually.
There's lots of crypto guys out there.
Yeah, 102.
All right, so Crypto Guy 102 DM Mugty as well.
Not 103.
Let's go with
And,
Miami Poppy because I like his name.
Also, guys, I'm just putting in here now. Anyone in the Vulcan community not already following the Goons of Balatroon on Twitter, that is their Twitter link as well as their website. So check them out. I also just put that tweet in there so any of the winners can just use
And there it goes.
and DM me your addresses there. Also, I really liked Flaccid Dragon's question about the onboarding onto Elysium. So let's
There you
give
go.
Flaccid Dragon one of those
All right,
packs.
Flaccid Dragon. So Crypto Guy, am I sending you or not? Because I mean, if you're mod, I mean, if you're wanting to pass it up to someone else,
Here.
you know, that'd be.
Let's do it this way. Internally as a team, we'll get him a pack. Let's you guys select somebody from select somebody from your
All right,
community.
awesome.
We'll make sure he gets a reward because you would have picked him anyway. But let's try to reward as widely as possible.
Totally.
As a mod, I do hate that when we can't get involved in certain things. So it's like, oh wait, that was my pack.
Oh look at Rafiki. Rafiki's just popped up last minute there.
Who is
Awesome
right,
guys,
so far
awesome projects.
we've got Crypto Guy and we've got Seabags.
Let's go with
Flaccid
my
Dragon as well. Crypto Fandito asking about the merch was
Yeah.
another question I'm remembering.
Flaccid Dragon.
All right, so Flaccid Dragon. All right.
I put a vote in for Crypto Fandito.
Yeah,
All
sure.
right, so
I'm
Crypto
into that one.
Fandito and Flaccid Dragon. There we go. There's the 4. You guys just DM Mukti with your ETH addresses, all right? And I'll make sure those get sent across ASAP.
I think we just
Sorry,
lost the
Crypto
mod.
Guy, we'll take care of you too, buddy. We'll get you a card back too from our side.
Hey, Glitch.
That's mod today.
Glitch, you want to send the packs to the wallet, the BTF wallet? Then that way they can all come from the BTF wallet.
Well,
Yeah,
it's,
sure, no problem.
I'll do
it's
that.
do that. We'll get that set up after.
Yeah, because it will be on ETH. All right, so it's Flaccid Dragon, Crypto Fandito. Who are the other-
Seabags and Crypto Guy 102.
Okay, so Crypto Guy is getting one. Beautiful. Got 1 and 2. Okay.
All right.
ETH Addies 4 packs.
I'll throw this question out to you guys since I've seen it asked a couple times now. The art was nerfed a bit due to restrictions. Do you plan on bringing back the art from the trailer in the future?
Yes, so here's kind of how that works, right? Initially, when we had the vision for the game, we wanted to be degen, we wanted to be humorous, we wanted to set ourselves apart from what I will call a genre that is very serious in its art. You have a lot of mythological themes, you have a lot of high fantasy themes when you have these trading card games, and we said, what if we had cool art but it was also absolutely 100% insane. And, you know, we had a couple of iterations of the art where we looked through and we said, okay, you know, what's actually fit to print? What is in line with our vision? What's a little extra? We had feedback from our community. Our community's always been amazing. They brought us feedback. They're like, well, I don't know if we need this, or this may be a little bit too much. And we executed on that feedback. We audited the cards. Going forward, maybe there's a chance to have a Gob collection uncut, you know, reprised.
Uncensored,
yeah, it's very possible. Mark, what do you think about that? Not to put you on the spot, it is something we've kind of discussed.
Yeah, I think we can do it. I have to talk to Mr. Z about it though. Because
we do have to be careful where we do it at, because there are
exactly.
limitations to some of these, you know, toe control, for example. We had to be very careful for, you know, these areas. They have, you know, content restrictions. They have their own preferences. So if we do a Gob uncut, Gob uncensored, it may be something. Maybe we release it under our own resources. It's hard to say.
Maybe we do merch or physical prints. We'll see.
There you go. So definitely a lot of features, and we've heard the request from it. It is something we've kicked around, but you know, multiple iterations have gone into the Gob art, and it's been cool all the way. It's been cool all the way through. Just slight adjustments and tweaks.
Oh yeah, the art is fantastic. And one cool thing as well is whenever I remember seeing on your guys' YouTube channel, you used to do those little like the little skits of the Gobs. I would love to see those come back. I'm not sure if there are plans for anything along those lines, but those were hilarious.
Yeah, so we've had to scale up. You know, we've moved from a very small team, and we're scaling to a mid-sized team, adding a lot of new faces on. Right now, the focus is absolutely on the game, but I think, Mark, we haven't moved completely away from the shorts and comics, cartoons, right?
We have not. We have that in the roadmap. Thing is, the game is really challenging right now, so we're putting all the eggs in that basket, but cartoons on our radar. I'd really love to see these characters come to life in an animated format. It's going to be fantastic. But that's going to be after the game launch. So probably closer to summer, that's when we're going to entertain this idea.
Yeah, like I say, it's all very careful. It's like juggling, but instead of juggling 3 balls, they give you like 25 balls, and they lit one of them on fire for some reason. That's kind of how this entire process works. It's a ton of fun, and it's a bunch of like exciting experiences, but it does require a lot of prioritization and moving things between burners for sure.
Oh, I can imagine. Yeah. And yeah, Blue Bear, you absolutely need to check out this game, man. I put the website link a little bit ago, as well as our Twitter. A lot of really, really good stuff coming here. Well, Matt and Mark, guys, thank you so much for joining us here. This was amazing. A lot of alpha dropped here. A lot of things we didn't know personally. I'm sure a lot of the Vulcan community was not aware of, didn't know. So just want to thank you guys very much for taking the time. Would love to have you guys back on at some point as more things progress within the ecosystem.
Oh, hell yeah.
Absolutely. It was a pleasure coming. You guys have a nice setup here.
Yeah.
Great hanging out with you guys. Very excited to hang out in the future. Just let me know. Our community knows I can talk for days about anything, so I'm happy to talk your ear off at any point. Guys, it was amazing hanging out with you. Love hanging out.
Yeah, I love it. Well, cheers, guys. Thank you very much. We will be in touch soon. Can't wait for the game rollout. You know, we've been accumulating our goons over here. We got our card pack, so we are ready and excited. Going to be making some content, streaming some gameplay for sure.
Awesome.
Yeah, we are really happy to have you guys join in the Vulcan ecosystem, coming to Elysium.
Oh yeah.
All right, guys. Well, we'll leave you here. Let you have a great continuation of your show. But it was great hanging out with you. And again, we appreciate you having us on. So you guys and all of the Vulcan community watching, you guys have a great day. Thanks for humoring me for a bit.
Thanks
for coming on, guys.
Appreciate it.
See you next time.
Yep. Later, guys. Thank you. All right. Well, yeah. I mean, that was just amazing. I mean, if you guys weren't already bullish on the Goons of Balatroon, there was a lot of awesome information dropped there. Really, really good stuff coming for that game. And it's just another one of the, we're starting to see a lot of top tier, high quality projects joining us on Elysium. So a lot to be excited about as we move into 2022 with Elysium coming to release. Testnet currently going on. Things progressing well there, I would say.
Oh, they definitely are.
Yeah.
Yep. It's looking good.
Yeah, and now we do have quite a bit else to get throughout this show. So I know one thing a lot of us are very excited about going on today is the Known Worth Plot of Land giveaway. We're going to be crowning a champion. Someone's going to be walking home with a free plot of land by the end of the show. Not sure if it's going to be someone in chat or someone not, but nonetheless, we'll be deciding that winner.
It'll be fun to find out regardless.
Yeah,
yes,
we'll try to get down through these topics to get to that last one as soon as possible.
Speed read.
Yeah, do you wanna go ahead and roll into the VF News, Mukti?
Yep. Real quick, we'll just say, Cryptopher, appreciate that. Everyone in chat, guys, thank you for the love. All the Goons community who joined us here today. It's very happy to have you guys here. Really excited to be migrating the Vulcan Forged and Goons of Balatroon communities. And we're super excited about the project. So thank you guys for hanging out here with us.
Yep.
If you'd like to learn more about what's going on with Vulcan Forged, we have quite a bit to get through today. We may not spend full time on each of these topics just because of the length of the Goon segment. We have the giveaways going on that is going to take some time that I know a lot of us are very excited about. And thank you, Mary Jane. I love this background as well. Shout out Omega for but yes, let's get into the Vulcan Forge news. Much love to Neswolf, who's been crushing it as always with these. And we're going to go ahead and roll this week's segment of Vulcan Forge news.
Hi, you're watching Vulcan Forged News. This week, we'll look at updates to Vulcanverse landmarks, we'll also take a look at updates to Vulcan Runner, extra tickets are available for Vulcan 2 in Athens, Greece this June, and as usual, we'll take a glance at Vulcan Forged projects coming to Elysium and the Spotlight AMA series.
Vulcan 2 is rapidly approaching. Due to unprecedented demand, we're releasing extra tickets. What do these tickets include? Free bar, a Greek lunch, a gala dinner, access to the Zappion Hall for 6 speakers, special guest speakers, a light show, Olympic drummers, a band, a laser show, life-size Vulcanites, fireworks, AR photo booths, the list goes on. Take a look at the link in our description to buy your tickets. Do not miss this one. Tier 1 Troy land seeds are going to be released later today at 5 PM GMT. All my Forge wallets holding 1000 peer or above will receive a Troy land tier 1 seed. It'll cost 500 lava and 1500 XP to sow. There's a 1000 peer lockup for 20 days with a 5% fee. The most prestigious land in Troy, a tier 1 plot, sits near the Palace of Priam. Work to our addictive Vulcan Runner continues. Players are battling it out for high scores. At the moment, Calaviero leads with a high score of 16,744. We don't stop building at Vulcan Forged. Here is a sneak preview of Vulcan Assassin, a game currently in development. A forthcoming update to Block Babies will include trainee baby packs. You can expect various team babies and items to be available for those who maybe haven't yet managed to get hold of Block Babies NFTs. Land staking with Peer will soon be live after a successful test using Lava only. Keep an eye out for more information on the Vulcanverse Discord. The Elysium blockchain explorer is close to completion. We've released a sneak preview of this on our Vulcan Forged Twitter account. Our carbon neutral Vulcan Forged blockchain is coming soon. This week, our Spotlight series on projects coming to Elysium has included AMAs with both the Bornless and Fables of Fire, the latter of which was previously known as Coddle Pets. You can watch both of these AMAs through links in the video description. Head over to vfmerch.com to get hold of some brilliant Vulcan Forged merchandise, including t-shirts, hoodies, caps and bags. Website link in the description. Have you visited Vulcanverse lately? If you have, you'll notice that landmarks have been updated, including the Woodlands of Ambrosia. Behind the scenes, NPC development and quest functionality are progressing well. Keep a lookout for moderators and staff who now have unique clothing. The Dark Lord, aka author, Jamie Thompson, is currently writing new quests for Vulcanverse. Keep an eye out for these in future releases.
That's it for this week. Be sure to tune in to By the Fire this Saturday. Like and subscribe to the channel, and we'll see you soon.
Boom. There it was. Huge shout out, Neswolf. You had a little bit of what she was aware of the mic quality this week. were thinking that the mic he had attached to his shirt was actually not the one connected.
Yeah, he had that. He remember he mentioned something about that where it kind of it picked up. I think it was his mobile mic or something temporarily on some segments.
Yeah, but he's crushing as always.
He's absolutely killing it.
Block Babies upgrades, some new Vulcan tickets being released, a little bit of a sneak peek on Vulcan Assassin, all the projects the Spotlight series of projects coming to Elysium, like Touch the Bornless there, Fables of Fyra, and much love to he had a VF merch shot out there. We had a merch pack sent out to Nesswolf. He's looking beautiful in that Vulcan jacket and hat there, and he even gave us a little shout out at the end on By the Fire.
Mukti's got a PYR one on.
Yep. Love these nice hoodies. Walton Glitch are repping their VF merch today as well. The brewer said he's opening packets here. Are you opening Goons of Balatroon packs, brewer?
Oh, fellow junkie. Look at that.
I don't blame you, brewer. Yeah, it's a good time. 100% agree, CF. Nesswolf is a sexy mofo. Also, CF, I don't know if you were tuned, but you have to DM me your ether because you won a Goons of Balatroon pack. So if you have not already, you can just DM me through Discord actually. Which I do have a DM from you on Discord.
He's like, I've been shouting at you over here.
He's already waiting.
Maynard BTF jacket, so good. Agreed, Maynard. They are nice jackets. But yeah, so much love to Nesswolf, crushing it as always. We play every week on By the Fire. We play his latest rendition of Vulcan Forged News, and it was a great one this week. A lot of stuff going on, very very cool stuff, especially the Block Babies upgrades. I know that game has been under maintenance for some time. A lot of development going on there, so a lot of good stuff. Sheikens, link to the shop, absolutely, man. That is vmerch.com.
Okay.
Thank you, Walt. Yep, that'll get you there. And let's keep it moving here, boys. So
DAP radar growth.
DAP radar growth, indeed.
DAP radar growth is the next segment. So at any point in time, for those of you who did not know, you can go ahead to dapradar.com. Then on the rankings tab, Vulcan Forge, we have our own little section, our own category on there, where you can see the growth of all Vulcan Forge games. And it has been a little bit of a slower 24 hours, but when you look at the 7-day, which we could pop me on screen share here, Mega.
All right. Go ahead and start it up.
Let's do that. It's been a very green 7 days by the looks of it, and the I know they're taking a look at how these are all tracked. So I think it's tracked through NFTs, so it's not necessarily completely accurate user growth statistics that we're looking at here. It's more so
correct.
Yeah,
I think a few are going to be changing to login, not exclusively tied to but I do believe that currently it is based around NFT usage in game.
Gotcha.
So yeah.
But yeah, so as you guys can see here, we're sitting at all green on the 7-day chart. Vulcanverse is up a very solid 11.7%. Forge Arena 42.2%. There was recently the new game manual or white paper, so to speak, of Forge Arena, how that game works, was released. That's a great way to be grinding XP within the Vulcan ecosystem. Berserk is up as well, as we heavily anticipate the release of the downloadable standalone client that is coming for Berserk. A lot of exciting stuff coming for Berserk. That's in the green as well. And we will jump to the 30-day. And a lot of good stuff here as well. Vulcan Forged up 99.1% from the previous 30 days. Berserk down 25. Forge Arena up 202% at 2.08 thousand users. And Block Babies, which has been under maintenance and has had some development going on. So not surprising to see that number down there. And yeah, that's right, Cardo B. Battle Chess underrated. Vulcan's
battle chess.
It's new and
battle
just got put on there.
And poker have just, I think they're.
Are there NFTs coming for those games at all, Glitch?
No, I don't believe so. Not. But it's like they're going to be tracking user login, I think. Well, as with like others as well, because yeah, I'm not totally sure on how those are being tracked, because I know that Vulcanverse is NFT based.
Yeah, it would be
So,
cool
yeah.
to get some maybe like cosmetic NFTs in the mix, or even like
Mm-hmm.
just being able to use like for well, I guess whenever the Vulcan's Phalanx PFP NFTs are out, I think there was talk of those being used like at the poker table as your like avatar on the poker table. So I guess that could be one way of integrating NFTs,
Absolutely.
different skins and stuff. I guess the same for chess. But yeah, solid growth on DApp Radar. That's something we are going to be looking at each week here. On By the Fire, we do look at each week, and we like to see the green numbers. A lot of good development, a lot of good growth.
Green is good.
And Jamie is going to be speaking at the Binance Blockchain Week. This is what's happening in Dubai, right?
Correct.
That I'm not sure if he's currently there or if he's going to be on his way there shortly. But there are always some big names at these conferences, which are mega. We can go ahead and jump to the Binance Blockchain Week segment here.
Has fallen asleep.
Beautiful.
Omega, wake up.
What you talking about? I'm here.
Willis.
Shadows.
And so how much do we know about the Binance Blockchain Week? I assume this is one of the, well, I mean, it is one of the bigger blockchain conferences. Binance, of course, being one of the largest companies in the crypto space. This takes place in Dubai. A lot of wealth, a lot of powerful people in the crypto space showing up at events like this. And Jamie is going to be there,
Repping the VN.
repping Vulcan, repping Vulcan to the big dogs. So do you know, Glitch, he has stage time and is going to be giving a speech?
To be honest, I've been a bit disconnected this week from some of the external stuff, so I'm not
Like
I'm
busy
not entirely
dying or
sure.
something.
Yeah, I was busy dying for a while. But I assume so. That there should be some speaking going on. In fact, give me 2 seconds. I just want to check something quickly.
Hands.
There
I'll
should
be
be some
right
speaking
back.
involved.
Yeah, I mean, speaking happens, doesn't it? It's a normal thing.
Hey guys, see you later.
Yeah. Bye.
Hi, I'm VF. See you later.
Well, it does
nice
say,
talking with you.
in the tweet, Vulcan Forge will be speaking at
Oh,
Binance
there we go then.
in Dubai on the 29th of March. That's in 3 days at 10 a.m. on the importance of the metaverse, the builders, and new demographic. Thank you at Binance for the invite and opportunity. So yeah, that's a pretty awesome event to be able to get some speech time in at. So we'll be excited to hear the report from Jamie on how that goes whenever he returns. But yeah, so we may be seeing Jamie a little less active in Discord in the coming days.
He was actually, I was trying to get him on the show today, but he's a little busy. I think getting ready to either go out of town or landing or whatever. I'm surprised he didn't take the show on the plane.
Yeah.
Mid-flight.
Yeah, no, I am seeing here the Binance Blockchain Week stand that Vulcan is going to have. So, yeah, because I remember that Renee was doing some mock-ups for the artwork for it. So yeah, Vulcan Forge is going to be well represented there.
Hell yeah.
Mukti, what size are you wearing from Sheikens?
I'm wearing a large, I think it's a large jacket. Yeah, all my stuff is large usually. Why would you like to know, Sheikens?
maybe he's just sizing you up, and he's like, I think I'm roughly the same size as you.
I could take him.
Size me up, but yeah, Sheikens definitely. By the way, I believe I don't want to dox your name on here if you don't want me to, but I apologize if I'm just completely butchering how to pronounce your last name. I know your first name starts with the S, and then yeah.
It's like he's gonna dox him regardless. He's tiptoeing around his name.
Hey,
It's like,
Sheikens, I'm not going to dox you, but your name begins with an S and it ends in just as in the rest of the name.
that I'm about to say right now. Yeah.
I just wanted to apologize if I feel like I'm not saying your name correctly. But we
Are you telling me that his real name isn't Sheikens 1?
No, it is.
Damn it.
Next thing I'm going to find out that Walter Chambers isn't actually his name.
That would be scandalous.
Walter Chambers.
No.
That would just be the worst lie.
Absolutely outrageous.
The betrayal.
Right, let's go on to the new Elysium projects.
Let's do it.
Let's do
Yeah.
it.
A lot of good stuff. But yeah, Sheikens, grab some merch for like the pronouncement is wrong. I had a feeling it was wrong. Grab some merch for yourself though, man. If you were asking for my size,
He said he thinks you're the same size, so I think he was trying to size you up as to what size he would get.
I'm like like 5'11", 160-ish. So yeah,
Soaking
large.
wet.
Yeah. What?
So yeah.
Don't believe you a minute. You need to see your driver's license.
You're in that size. My driver's license actually says 6 foot. So.
You're telling us the license is lying? Like...
I didn't like the government knowing I was a little shorter, so
That's not European. I do think though the sizes translate though to European countries, because I've had some other people who were inquiring about that on the merch store, and I do believe they translate to the same sizes.
I can't remember what size did you send me.
I think
I sent you an XL glitch.
Yeah,
I like how you were trying to reach, like you were about to just rip.
No, I know. I was about
on
to.
camera.
I know. I just remembered that I took the labels off.
you said I was going to glitch earlier today. So Mukti, you sent me a 2XL, right?
Yep.
Yeah, this is perfect. It feels so comfortable. It's like loose. It's not, tight around me or anything. So I think glitch, you have yours is kind of tight around you, isn't it?
I'm just a big boy.
Well, I'm just saying, like fit wise, snug wise, it's
yeah.
it's not loose.
Mine's perfect.
Nice.
Cool.
That's why we're
XL.
Air Max sneakers with a 4-inch sole, and the day of the driver's license. I know that's a strategy right there. Inches.
So new Elysium project. 1 minute, 40 seconds already.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yep. New Elysium.
Oh, our Miga's under pressure.
We have a cropped. This is a cropped image from a tweet that Vulcan Forged put out. So we're just going to run through this list. We're going to talk about some of these projects coming on. Elysium is shaping up to be an absolute beast, and let's run through some of these. So we got The Hustle, of course, Geocats, Heavy Metal, Swallow Digital, Synverse, Chorus, Satoshi City, Mirai Labs, Everscapes, Fables of Fyra, The Bornless, Goons of Balatroon, Blockchain Valley, Equibank, Edverse, Drife, and a few more unlisted. All need PYR, all burn lava. So some ones on there that I don't remember seeing too much about, which Glitch, I'll pass off to you to see if you know anything about these, is Equibank and Drife. Were there official announcements made about those?
Drife, the Uber one?
Yeah, Drife we've had already. That's the thing. Drife
was like
around.
from forever ago.
Wait, I forgot.
Yeah.
I forgot about that one. Okay.
Equibank, a lot of these, it's going to be a case of waiting for the spotlights. Again, I haven't got all the information on all of them yet. Blockchain Valley is a really interesting one. But again, not going to take away the fire from the spotlight. AMAs, totally worth waiting for some of these. Very interesting ones.
How many of these are going to have their own token?
Well, quite a few, I believe. I mean, I know the Born list is coming up. Obviously, Goons is having, if not probably all of them. I think Swallow is coming out with its own token, the Swall token.
Fables of Fire has their 2 tokens.
Yep.
Geocats.
We have to. Geocats.
That is not going to have a token.
That's not going to be tokenized, but NFT based. Looking forward to any of their upcoming updates. Yeah, I mean, there's not much to say that won't come out in the AMAs right now. It's just best to wait for a dedicated section for them.
Sheikens just bought a shirt and hat, Mukti. Look at that.
And somebody above also bought a hat.
Awesome.
I got a hat. I actually need a hat as well.
Quality merch coming out of VF merch, the VF merch store, guys. So yeah,
it might take a while. It's just going to be Mukti there stitching it all together by himself.
No doubt, seriously.
There's
like
actually just raw. It's actually just raw cotton in the merch shop. There's no actual shirts. He has to actually loom them together first.
We're like
he's his own sweatshop.
Mukti and I are doing like show prep one day. He's like, "Yeah, sorry for the background noise. I'm over here doing shirts." Like he's literally sometimes in there in the shop himself.
Lumpy asks, "Will there be also Population 1?" I will get to that question in 1 second. Lumpy asks, "Will there be a merch table set up at Vulcan Adam?" I am Adam, by the way. That is my IRL name.
You've been doxxed.
It's actually, so I'm like 90% sure, Lumpy, I will be going to Vulcan. There is a chance I will not be, but pretty sure I will be. We'll see. But if I were to be going, I will be bringing a ton of merch with me. I probably won't set up a table or anything though, just because I won't have to worry. I'd want to just like be in the event and mix, being able to go around.
He's just going to be wearing all the layers of clothes, and people just peel them off him as they go.
We were talking about this before. Mukti's going to have a big backpack that he carries around and a potato gun.
T-shirt gun.
That's going to shoot these T-shirts out to the crowd. Yeah, that's the plan.
Yes, but I will have plenty of merch with me, that's for sure. But I probably won't have a table or anything set up, just because, I'd want to be able to go throughout the event and talk it up.
Cryptofandito says yes. Pin them all over yourself like Sunfell with the badges.
Becca asks, so Fables of Fyra or Fira? That's a good question, but
why don't you take this one?
Yeah, I'll cover that in the next. If you want to move us on topics here, so the guy who wrote the lore, so apparently the guy who should know how to pronounce it says it's Fyra, but then I'm also on Team Pyre over Pyre, so I just went Fira, and we had a debate about it, and I ain't debating.
Well, the debate is you're wrong because it's Fyra.
No, the debate is you're wrong.
But real quick, because we have a good bit to talk about with the Fables of Fyra land sale. Really exciting to see how smooth that whole process went on the Vulcan marketplace. I do want to get to Population One's question here. So he says, I'm curious to know how the PYR token is going to be incorporated in other games. With the great success of the BNB token, making utility for new things all the time made the prices skyrocket. So how the PYR token is going to be incorporated into other games, I'm not sure if that is going to be like part of the, like, I'd say lava is more so the token that's integrated.
And then it's incorporated in the sense of, like, when certain projects have released like NFTs that allowed allocation to certain things via buying that NFT on the Vulcan marketplace with PYR. So there has kind of been that before, and that's essentially a lot of like BNB's position in Binance Smart Chain based projects as well.
Yeah,
is that you'll be able to use BNB on the marketplace or whatever, but they inevitably have their own token or something.
Yep, correct. I mean, again, if a project wants to integrate PYR as its main token and they don't want to tokenize it themselves, I mean, they absolutely could. But as Mukti says, there will obviously be a focus on some of the games in some manner integrating lava as well. So yeah, it's just going to come down to each individual project and what their needs and what their wants are at the end of the day. Just call it FOF to split the difference.
Yeah, right. I was like, well, that's why I weighed in. I was like, listen, I'm not the only one on the team that's on the side of Fira.
So that means that there are more people on the team that are wrong. It's okay.
So you just have
fine.
Wrong people.
All right.
One frenzy pass asked Sanji.
Let me take screen share, please.
All right.
Yep. We're gonna get into the Fables of Fyra land sale here. We're gonna be pulling up on screen share. Do I have to unshare?
Yep,
that is correct.
Yep. Do that. But yeah, so I imagine who was it that just asked about the frenzy pass? Sanji. So I imagine when the games are ready. So that's gonna be the Vulcan Runner, Tartarus, Vulcan Tower Defense, and Vulcan Assassin are going to be the games, all still under development, being built. But once those are ready, then the Frenzy Pass will be rolled out, I imagine.
So the Fables of Fira, yes, Fira, you heard me. Land sale whitelist happened a couple days ago, and I do believe the expiry on that whitelist 48-hour timer occurs at some point this evening. After that, we'll be moving into the section of they'll all be listed on the marketplace with a 25 starting price, and you won't need a whitelist. So I know there was a bunch of people who kind of missed out on the land sale originally because you needed either a badge or an OG Elgino statue to qualify. As well as I know there's people who wish they could have bought more, but could only buy kind of what their badges allocated to them. So I'll just read through this quickly. There are different land options: free land, premium land, NFT land, and silver key land and gold key land. Each option offers different levels of access to the Fables of Fira franchise, unlocks benefits through ownership. When minting NFT land, a player is provided access to the entire kingdom, not just one piece of land within the kingdom. This is something that's important to go over, as a lot of us are kind of familiar with Vulcanverse and how Vulcanverse land placement works, and kind of a plot being next to your neighbor or so on. But as this game initially is just a single player adventure, the NFT land plot that you're buying is actually essentially turning the entire world within the game into the NFT land. An NFT land plot is required to earn Cave and increases daily earnings with NFTs and other enhancements. So to be able to earn the in-game Cave token, which is essentially the lava of Fables of Fira, you're going to have to own a land plot to be able to do that earnings. You'll still be able to come in and play for free if you'd like, but you just won't be able to earn Cave token taking that route. Whitelist for the public sale pre-mint silver key access. An additional 1,000 lands will be released in April after the official open beta launch of Fables of Fira: The Awakening. Only 1,000 gold key lands will ever be available. Having these keys automatic whitelists you for the upcoming BA token private sale. You must be legally eligible to participate in the private sale, as we unfortunately went over on our previous segment. Early access to the Fables of Fire: The Awakening game prior to the full public launch, and special roles within the ecosystem based on the gold key. So BA token is going to be their primary token, or their governance token. So that'll essentially be the PYR of their ecosystem, with the Cave token being the lava, essentially the earnings token. So this was whitelisted for the past couple days, but the rest of the gold key lands are going to be put up on the market later today with the 25 starting price, and people will be able to get involved who either wanted more or just weren't whitelisted originally.
Do you know how many sold, Walt, up to this point?
I would have to check. It was like 4 something, I believe, at my last look, and that was mid yesterday.
Okay. Yeah, so I know there definitely were some community members who wanted to get in there, but they didn't have the badges, so that's awesome.
Yeah. As well as I knew there was people that wanted to get additionals, but only had maybe, like 2, 3, 4 badges kind of deal.
Mm-hmm.
So so that's going to be happening later today. That'll move on, and then we'll get those land sales out, and soon after like the official open beta launch for The Awakening is actually quite soon. So there, I grabbed 10. Very nice, Lumpy.
Damn, Lumpy.
Yeah, and I know they're working very closely with myself as well as other guilds on making this a very smooth guild experience when it comes to scholars and rentability and kind of the earning share concept and stuff. So it's going to be nice, as well as all of you guys are aware, being in the guild and stuff too. One of our biggest hurdles is kind of computer performance or specs needed to play VV smoothly, right? So it'll be nice to have some things that aren't as computer demanding.
Yes, and for any BTF Stallions in the chat, we will be accumulating some plots. We already have, and we'll be getting some more. And this is going to be another play during game in the Vulcan ecosystem that you will have access to, being a BTF Stallion, of course. Mm-hmm. So look forward to that. The gameplay looks really, really good. I mean, there's been a lot of updates recently. Walt just put out a gameplay video yesterday, the day before.
I filmed it 2 days ago. I think she posted it yesterday. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Gotcha. Yeah. So very, very good looking game. OG project in the Vulcan ecosystem.
Yeah, it's nice to see. And for anybody who's unaware, Fables of Fira is previously known as Coddle Pets prior to the rebranding and change. So one of the original, I remember Coddle Pets, GeoCats, and I think that was kind of it as far as third party games went when I originally joined the Vulcan ecosystem. Yeah. It was just kind of the couple of them.
Mm-hmm. They just carried on building behind the scenes.
Now they got their token coming out. So later today you're thinking Lumpy, that it would be amazing, man. Thank you. Yeah, as more information comes out about that whole process, the renting process and the play to earn split and stuff, 100%, man.
Yep.
That would be amazing.
So that'll so the whitelist expires in a couple hours, I believe, and then after that they'll be all relisted publicly.
Lumpy wanted to clarify. By the way, Lumpy,
Donate the earnings. That is.
BTFA is actually another product.
Yeah.
BTFG is what I think you meant.
Yeah, but that's yeah. We get it, Lumpy. I didn't think you meant you were just gonna hand over your plots. Oh wait, sorry. You said you donate 20 Vulcanverse plots too. Let me get you my vet address.
Very generous of you, Lumpy.
Perfect. Well, I think that pretty much covers it. I read it over, so we can.
Later today, you're saying, Walt? Those are going to be up there? Or...
Yeah. So it expires in a couple hours, and then we'll move. Then it'll move over to public for anybody.
Beautiful. Keep your eyes peeled. Anyone who didn't have badges wants to get in on these those Fables of Fire plots. They'll be available later today. One Fat Irish Dad. Good evening, sir. Great to see you, man. How are you doing, Ophid?
Good evening, sir.
We're soon getting into the exciting stuff, Ophid. We got a lot of prizes we're going to be giving out here shortly. But before we can get to that, let's take a glimpse at the newest update of Vulcan Assassin gameplay. So this is just a briefish video, 35-36 seconds. This is going to be, of course, a game in the Frenzy Pass pool, where you'll get 1 lava per round. The top 50 earners of the day get a split of all the 50% of the lava buy-ins, with the other 50% being burned. So these are just going to be like really fun, almost like mini game type things. So we have Vulcan Assassin, of course, part of the Frenzy Pass, what you're watching on the screen now.
It's really hard to see on the screen because it's cropped, so you can't even see the guy shooting his bow live on the stream.
I was actually looking. Hold on 1 second, I'll get this.
Armega will pull up the vid in a sec here.
A second.
The hospital gave me lots of drugs.
That's pretty sweet. That's nice of the hospital.
I hope all is good and okay. But
he just went on a drug run. It was just
there for the drugs.
Yes.
Bones of Hades.
It's just what you do in Ireland.
Welcome. Yeah, Ardo be bullish on drugs.
What is happening right now?
Sorry about that, guys. Apparently there was some stuff from the previous show. Anyway, yeah, that's the full screen. Sorry, guys.
There you go.
That's better.
He had a bow. He wasn't just magically killing them with his
Yeah,
body.
I was looking at that at first. I was like, yeah, that doesn't look right, but maybe nobody will notice. And then somebody had to say, oh, it looks like something.
There wasn't even a bow. There wasn't even a bow in the video. You might as well have not ran it.
He's moving around, damn it.
Yeah, so as you can see with Vulcan Assassin, it looks like there's going to be waves of enemies that spawn in. You have a bow and arrow, potentially other various weapon upgrades. Maybe you can spend some lava for upgraded items or equipment or things like that. We don't know too much about it other than this is what the gameplay looks like. And yeah, you're going to be killing waves of enemies with the top finishers of the day earning from the lava prize pool.
I love how it's like very authentic to the Vulcanverse theme, except for the like the android himself. It's like futuristic.
I think he's just not. I think he's just not skinned.
Yeah, I know. I'm just saying, it's just funny. Like you could imagine.
He does look like
pretty,
iRobot.
That
Exactly.
would be a pretty cool skin.
Well, very nice. I'm like, it's going to be interesting to see. I'm excited for this one to reach kind of like the testing phase where all the community is allowed to play it similar to Tartarus. It should be interesting.
You just want to go kill things, don't you?
Well,
He's like,
yeah.
Hell
That was clear. Like,
duh.
And we are now, so really quick, because we are going to have these giveaways that are taking place for a little bit. So we're going to jump now into the Frenzy chat. So it's just going to be, other than Vulcan Assassin, of course, we have the other games we mentioned. And the ecosystem is going to look a little bit different. Once the Frenzy Pass rolls out, there's going to be a lot of other games to play, a lot of other ways to earn lava in the ecosystem outside of just Vulcanverse. It's going to be a big shakeup of things. So I figured we could have a little bit of a discussion around the Frenzy Pass and how things are going to look there. I'm just going to run to the bathroom really quick, just so I'm ready to go for these raffles. But Glitch Wall, take it away.
For the next 4 hours, guys, just strap in.
great show, guys. See you next week when Mukti's back.
Strang show.
so
That looked
Frenzy...
like a Doctor Strange portal he just ran through.
Yeah, no, right. So the Frenzy chat. What are we looking at here? Is this the new updated version?
This is the new Tartarus.
And then it looks like at some point we had.
Who's playing in this video and why are they getting their ass beat so much?
Yeah, I was
That's probably
actually
on me.
I was
think that was
talking
our
to you
Grave,
about that.
move, dodge.
I was like, you got a bow and arrow, man. Quit shooting it right next to him. Like, back up.
Is this Mukti playing?
No. I was talking
Oh,
to
I
him.
was
I was
gonna
like,
say, I
why
was
is
like,
this
Mukti,
guy
dude,
not
you
using
know
the
he's
bow
gonna,
and
like,
arrow?
move or something,
We
right?
could disown him if that was Mukti. We just disown him.
Your performance was shameful. I'm upset.
But yeah. So
Yeah, so Frenzy Pass, yeah, so we have the as we had popping up on the one thing, we're gonna have tower defense, or Vulcan tower defense, Vulcan runner, Tartarus, and what was the last one? Vulcan assassin?
it's gonna pop up
Yep.
shortly here.
Like, so that's gonna be it's gonna be interesting when we have all these like arcade style put a quarter in the box kind of games, like as we saw already, as everybody was competing over Vulcan runner. It's already kind of addictive trying to just get that high score over everybody else.
Yep.
So yeah.
It'll be nicer too when we know it's the top 50 scores. So you don't need to beat everybody. You just need to beat a lot of people.
Have
Should
you
be all of Walt's 50? Sorry, all of Walt's 50 alts.
Yeah.
Oh, that was a tongue twister.
Yeah. All of Walt's 50 alts.
So have y'all played
Redfish, Bluefish?
tower defense recently? Has
I
that
haven't
evolved?
played. I don't know if has it gotten a more public release yet, Glitch? I don't know. I played the demo a while back, but
I think so. And if not, then I'll send you across the link.
that's good. Calavero infiltrated my villain story.
It's the frenzy chat going.
Well, it's chat. There's like some frenzy and stuff.
Yeah, the chat's it's frenzied.
Yeah. So yeah, it's like they're all gonna be along the concept of put a lava in. Top 50 earners in each one are going to split the lava pool. Is it glitches at each game, the top 50 from each game, or is it like the top 50 across, or what? How's that work?
I think it's individual games.
I thought so. I just didn't want to speak out of turn on it.
No, well, again, until all the info is out there.
Yeah, exactly. You're like, well, if that's the case.
I'm just making it up as I go along. But no, I'm pretty sure that is how it's going to be, because that way we've got the leaderboards for each individual game. Top 50% or top 50.
Top 50 people.
50% of the lava goes to the top 50. And that's obviously split tiered downwards.
Mm-hmm.
Not 50%, right? It's because
so it's the top
50% of
25.
Okay.
Did you say
it's
15?
It's 50% of the lava.
So
I'm gonna have to get my
50
whiteboard.
players.
Got it.
Like,
here's a question that comes to mind that Glitch you might not know yet, but is it going to be like a poker tournament type structure where?
yeah, he just said it'd be scaling downwards.
Oh, okay. I missed that. Perfect.
So,
Very nice. Top 50 or top 50%. God damn it, Ophid.
And that's why you're the star mod, Ophid.
Ophid, this is the wrong channel. Go back to the right channel. This is lava. Which channel should I direct you to,
Off
sir?
topic.
Any other channel.
No, I'm going to direct you to
I'm just gonna direct you to another stream.
lava and XP
Gonna link you to
mining,
somebody
sir.
else's stream. All right. Well, we've had a frenzy chat. Let's go
So
on to the Sheikens
Ladies.
raffle.
is it Sheikens?
No, I don't think it is. I think we're
He said-
butchering
he
it.
said that was
But, like,
incorrect.
yeah. He said it's incorrect, but he didn't correct us. So
Why
let's
don't you
just
tell us
let's
his
run
real
with it.
name, Mugdi?
Yeah, why don't you give us his entire full name and his socials?
If you type out the pronunciation, is it? Which?
Sheikens.
Sheikens? Sheikens?
It's probably like a silent S. So it's like
Sheikens.
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 Sounds German.
Oh my
Sheikens.
God, I was
Oh
right.
my God,
I was
Sheikens.
right.
Shit, the S is silent. We've been lied to.
What do you mean the S is? How can the S be silent?
Oh, well, see, S is in silent, so.
Oh my God, you're fired.
What about Irish Dad with the Skydive shout out? She's not streaming right now, is she, Ophid?
No, I think he was making a joke because I said I was just gonna send people to other streams instead of other channels. Like, no, you're right. She's not streaming, but Ophid, go sit in her lobby and just stay there. Like,
Well,
All right, so at least we now know how to pronounce Sheikens.
wait,
without
but then he typed S/hike/N. So is it Sheikens?
Sheikens.
Oh, I'm so confused.
One.
All right, to the Sheikens raffle.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are getting into the exciting part of the podcast now.
That sounds
We have a lot of NFTs that we're going to be giving away with the finale of a plot of Vulcanverse land in the mountains of Boreas, courtesy of Vulcan philosopher known worth. Let's get rolling here. I have my screen share up, Armega.
Yes, sir.
So one funny thing here is usually these wheel spins have all the names visible on them, but there's so many names in this
that they're just like a blur.
They're not visible. So if you can see your name in these entries here, these are all of them.
Is that really how many we have? Good gosh. It's just a color wheel. So coin X is green.
So if you see your name on there, you are in the running where you're going to scroll through all of these. 196 entries.
Okay, so this is for Sheikens Raffle, but is this also including the known worth land?
No.
Okay.
So what is Flyheart?
Software. We're going to be using Flyheart is one of Sheikens' Sedalians, who is from the Ukraine, has been heavily affected by the Ukraine situation.
Oh, okay.
So this is the Medium article that he had put out here. And Sanji had entered the raffle. The time for that has
I was like, it is closed at this point.
Yep. It was put out through Twitter, put on Twitter throughout the week, and we had made an announcement on last week's podcast about it. But yeah, so he had one of his Sedalians has been heavily affected by the situation in Ukraine. So this raffle is to raise money for her to help her get back up on her feet. And basically how it worked is 1 PYR donation got you 1 raffle ticket, with every 5 PYR getting you an additional. So I think if you sent in 5 PYR, you got 6 tickets, was kind of the structure of it. And these are the prizes here that we're going to be giving off. And I think we're going to start with the lower value ones and work our way up to the higher value ones. And then right after this, we'll get into the actual plot of land giveaway. So, and you know what we'll do? Actually, we'll just go down through the list to make it easier. So we're going to kick things off here with a level 3 Troy land token valued at about 50 PYR. So, you know, what we could do is kind of put these up side by side. So probably make this a little bigger.
There you go.
Okay, this works. All right, so this is for 1 level 3 Troy land token. Good luck everybody who entered. If you bought multiple tickets and you win a prize, the 1 entry that wins we're going to remove, but we'll leave the rest of your entries in, so you will have a chance to win multiple prizes out of here. There's a total of 9 prizes in total, and here we go.
Hey, Mukti, did you shuffle those names on that wheel first?
I can actually put this together for me. So it's kind of, all right.
Coin 1x1.
So green, yay.
Troy,
He was pink with that with Smarty Pants.
Troy token. All the names are kind of grouped together. So, yeah, I forgot to mention that to you, Sheikens, was usually what we'll do with these wheel spins. It doesn't really change anything. But usually we'll do
Statistically,
it's debatable. Really. Yeah, it
really isn't. if you get somebody good at statistical analysis in here, they'll tell you exactly why it doesn't matter.
And 1x1 gets 1 entry removed. So
can we make that an 18-minute segment, Walt?
We need to make it 100.
Walt's already determined. He's like, I'm the professional until somebody else professional gets in here to talk about statistical data. So it doesn't matter.
Here
I just know it doesn't matter. If you want me to break down why, I can't.
Here we go to 1 green tunic. I will call, actually. Iki.
Who the hell is that?
Iki, who the hell won that prize?
I don't see a name. I just see a blank pink square.
It sounds like the burner wallet. What happened?
But yeah, so Sheikens, would you like to reach out to everyone for addresses, or have them message you, or would you like them to message me and I can just forward it over to you then? Either option is fine. Let me know. You actually might already have everyone's addresses on hand with who entered, but let me know what you'd like to do there. Where is Rafiki? Here we go.
Who is Rafiki?
That was a legit question. It made it funnier.
Up next is 1 Pipes of Pan Berserk card.
He says he has their info.
Nice.
It's funny because the wheel will spin.
I know it'd be nice if we could see the names. I think there's just too many. It doesn't.
Yeah, no. The funny thing is when it spins, there's so many for one person for a while. It just stays on a name
Yeah.
for like a quarter of the spin.
Now the question is this Jappy or is it Yappy?
It's probably Yappy. It sounds, I don't know, to me it sounds...
That's because you know
potentially-
somebody named Yap.
I'm traumatized from Yap shouting at us, my name's Yap!
In fairness, he let you guys go for like
Ever.
like a year before he corrected you.
Is that our fault?
Yeah, actually, my name's
No,
Tom.
not
Yeah, it's just pronounced Yap.
Yeah.
This looks like an RGB fan card.
Yeah, JP. Yeah, I think JP did win the
Yes.
Pipes of Pan.
It might be.
Yeah, JP won the Berserk card.
Up next, we have one Chorist NF Tree, kindly offered by Chorist. Good luck, everybody.
Yo.
Yeah. Sheikens. I have a list here that I'll send over to you then of everyone who won which prize. Ophid.
Nice.
Ophid.
Ooh.
Oh, we're gonna have to skip Ophid. Sorry.
Ophid gets a NF
I
Tree.
mean, he's clearly been doping for this, so I mean, he said it himself.
All right, so we removed one entry from Ophid. I think he was at the bottom. Okay. Up next is one 315 guild membership with GM tokens with a value of about $600, kindly offered by Mary Jane 315 in the chat. Shout out Mary Jane. Good luck, everybody. Astaroth 315, stacking those memberships with another one. I assume already has at least one with the name, with 315 in the name there.
You'd assume so.
Oh, nice.
Yep. And no worries if you didn't win that one, because we have another 315 guild membership courtesy of Midnight Cat's Lady 315 that we're going to be rolling for right now. Let me just clear out an entry for Astaroth. Okay. Good luck, everyone. This is for another 315 guild membership NFT.
Such a user-friendly wheel spin.
You're enjoying this, Armiga, yeah?
Yeah.
I am 315. The 315 crew is scooping up the.
Scrooping.
Scrooping.
That's gonna
We're
catch
there,
on.
scrooping it all up.
We're unscrupulous.
Ryan, congrats, man. Another membership NFT for the portfolio.
Did a question, Mukti? Did any 315 named members? Did they win the other prizes? I wasn't paying attention.
315.
Oh wait, he's
315 Guild says, spin it again.
that's Ryan. That's you on the 315 guild account, right? Do you actually?
Yeah, I think so.
I will spin it again if you want me to.
Spin it again.
He
Yes.
says yes.
All right, we'll run that one again. I didn't remove one of your entries yet, so we'll leave you in there. We'll leave you in the mix.
That never happened, everybody.
He wins again.
Yeah. But statistically,
Big T.
nice.
Ready?
Big T.
Congrats, Big T. 315 guild membership NFT. And up next now, we have Edition 1 Tomio statue.
Edition number 1.
Kindly offered by Anonymous.
Thank you, Anonymous.
Here we go.
In before Adam decides to dox him as well.
Anonymous, formerly known as.
Tomio statue. I believe they're all number 1 edition. But this is a Tomio statue nonetheless.
Oh.
JP. Jappy.
He said JP.
Yappy Jappy JP with the win again.
Why not?
The
Why not
first
J Pie?
You get a Tomios statue. Congrats, man. And now we have one level 3 Troyland token kindly offered by BTF. Good luck to everybody.
I've heard about that BTF.
For this
Dodgy guys.
Oh wait, I need to clear another entry here for
Search feature. That'd be so cool.
Where are you? There we go. All right, tier 3 Troyland token. Good luck, everybody.
Congratulations, AA Ron.
Here. Big T. There's like one thing on Mary Jane. It looked like it was going to land on Mary Jane. So Big T, our second duplicate winner. Congratulations, sir. You have won a tier 3 Troyland token and a 315 membership NFT. And we still have one more spin to go for the grand finale here of the raffle. Tier 3 Troy plot. And now, last but not least, we have one level Troy land valued at 70 PYR. Good luck, everybody.
Is Big T in the chat?
Big T, are you in the chat?
He hasn't said anything.
I'm just saying he's winning a lot of stuff.
Yeah, he won a 315 NFT and clear one of his entries. And now a plot of Troy land. And all right, tier 2 Troy land. Good luck, everybody. Approximate 70 PYR value. Rafiki claiming his second prize. Boom. Congratulations, sir. Big winner. Green tunic and a tier 2 Troy plot. Nice, Rafiki. Rafiki is in chat, I believe. I feel like I remember seeing him.
He's always
He
around.
definitely was.
Sure. Congrats, Rafiki. Yeah. All right. So now we have the known worth Vulcan vs. Plot of Land giveaway. I just want to give a huge shout out to him for doing this. This was very exciting. We got a lot of interaction on the giveaway. So the way this works, we are going to be randomly picking a winner. So we haven't done this before, but I don't think Sweep Widget comes with a wheel spin or anything that exciting. So you guys will be able to see all the entries that we have within there, and you will watch me here pick the randomly selected one winner greater than or equal to one entry. Submit. Have Vanessa is that's the only way we can.
I know. But
Serisher, I am so happy that you ended up winning that. That's amazing. Congratulations. So we are going to be getting that plot to you shortly. If you could just DM me on Discord, even on here would work.
Horse and Down magazine.
Yeah, let's get a bunch of subscriptions sent.
Horse and Hound.
Congratulations, Serisher. Well, that was really the main event here. That was the big finale of the show today. Want to give a huge shout out to everyone who participated in that giveaway. Huge shout out to Sheikens for organizing the raffle for Flyheart. It was amazing. And actually, before I forget, she did send a little message that I would like to pull up here. She typed something out just to thank everyone for their generosity for the raffle. And here is what she said. This was forwarded to me by Sheikens. From Flyheart, she says, "It's hard to find words to describe what I feel now. I guess I just want to hug all of you personally. Everyone who joined the raffle." Oh, it actually gets cut off. Everyone who joined the raffle, everyone who said a few warm words for me and all Ukrainians, everyone who stopped to scroll newsfeed and felt pain for my people. You are all so incredible, guys. I can't believe there's so many people in this world who's ready to help a complete stranger. I've started playing VV not so long ago. I don't even have my 10,000 XP yet. Unfortunately, I haven't had a chance to learn all the ins and outs about this fascinating universe, but I've already learned what an amazing, loving, and friendly community it has. Special thanks to Sheikens, the person with a huge heart who has never met me but helped me much more than some of my relatives or friends. Thank you all. I have a chance not only to manage my own life during the war and hopefully after the war, but to also help other Ukrainians, our army, volunteers, and some people I know. Finally, I want to ask you all a big favor. Don't get tired of the news. I know that when some time passes, we all need a break. We want to forget about horrible things. People who live in other countries can switch the channel, but Ukraine can't. Please support Ukraine, go to protests, ask your governments to send modern weapons to our soldiers, or to make a no-fly zone over Ukraine. Don't let yourself get used to the horrible crimes of Russia. Ukraine stands while it has your support. And that was from Flyheart. And yeah, Sheikens, man, this was an amazing thing for you to do. Huge ups for you, man. That was awesome. I really hope that this money goes a long way for Flyheart and helps her out a good bit to get back on her feet. And yeah, man, thank you for organizing this. Everyone who participated, thank you very much for participating. We are honored to be able to have done the wheel spin raffle prize giveaways here on the show. I also want to give a big thank you to Mark and Matt of the Goons of Balatroon team for joining us. That was a really fun segment. Lot of things to be bullish about with the Goons of Balatroon project.
Hey, also, Mukti, wanted to go ahead and touch on something. There's a possible exploit in MetaMask for Chrome users. And this just came from actually the GOB server, some MIDI announcements. But
okay.
They just suggest that you go to settings, about Chrome, and it should allow you to update it from there. So just make sure everybody stays up to date on their Chrome browser.
Yep. Avoid getting scammed out there.
Okay. Thank you.
I'm not sure of the details on that, but I just wanted to throw that out there. If anybody's watching, make sure you update Chrome or Chromium browsers like Brave.
Okay, gotcha. Well, yeah, we'll definitely have to get up on that. Shaken says update the medium with the process, sending screenshots to be transparent. Awesome, man. Cardo B says huge shout out to our Mega, better stream quality than last week's. Can't wait for another stream. That's 100% correct, Cardo B. Last week we were struggling with this without our Mega. It's just not the same without him here running things behind the scenes.
I don't know what you're talking about. Last week looked great. I can hear it beautifully.
Much love to the man behind the screen. Well, everybody, as always, thank you very much for hanging out with us today. Really fun stream. Shout out to the Goons of Balatroon team. Shout out Sheiken. Shout out Known Worth. This was one of the more action-packed days of By the Fire we have had in recent memory, in a long time. So, Glitch, Walt, thank you guys, as always, for joining, for being here.
Always a pleasure.
Of course.
Yes, and everyone in chat, enjoy the rest of your weekend. Have a great Saturday.
Don't drink too much.
Yep, don't drink too
much. Or
much.
just completely ignore that. I mean, why not?
And yep, we have our man Armego signing off there. And and Serisher, congratulations, huge prize. DM me if you haven't already with your vet address. We'll be making an announcement here shortly that you are the winner of that, so look out for that on Twitter.
Yep. And has everyone reached out to you for the Goons packs?
Yep. So we have just double check on
Should
that.
have 4 DMs there, yeah?
Yep.
All right, awesome. Cool.
And yeah, so Glitch, we'll talk after the show, but probably going to send it to the same wallet so that way everything's coming from.
Yeah, sure. No, absolutely.
Yeah. All right, everybody. Have a great weekend. Thank you for hanging out, and we will see you next time.
Till next time, guys.
Bye.